High School Sports Live, in partnership with 27 News, is proud to present live on TV the Cedar Cliff Colts versus the Redland Patriots. This broadcast is brought to you by our premier sponsor, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency and the Brenner family of dealerships. I'm Todd McCall along with Jerome Presley. Jerome, right now, it's the West Shore War. This is also a major Keystone Division, big game, backyard game. One district, two teams. Most people in the capital region know that when you talk West Shore, you talk Redland, you talk Cedar Cliff. Today, Cedar Cliff here at the West Shore is the team on the road. But more importantly, at 6-1, 5-2 is Redland. Talk a bit about, if you will, just this game and the matchup for the Keystone Division and what it means.
I think this game means so much. I mean, you have two schools that are in the and I'll tell you what, one has to go over to the visitors. It's the Colts today, where Redland is the home team. So this is a powerful game. As you can see by the crowd behind us, they are ready to go.
Well, right now, Keystone Division, there's not much you can say other than every team has a chance to win. Now, Lower Dauphin has more than 2 losses, but Redland with the loss, Cedar Cliff with the loss, McDevitt with 1 loss, and Susquehanna Township with 1 loss. But if you're Cedar Cliff today, we're going to profile a few players. First and foremost, they don't get here without Grant Brenneman. Number 18, a quarterback. When you take a look at the highlights, this kid has 1,400 yards this year, well over 6,000 yards for his career. Talk a little bit about Brenneman.
Well, I think the one thing I like about Grant Brenneman is he's really been polished as a passer, and I think that's what's been big for him. Last year we saw him run a lot more. He's not running as much. He's getting the ball to his playmakers and letting them do the thing. Now, on the offensive line, we can't forget Sean Hastings, number 71, has just committed to St. Francis University, a Division I program, just a week ago. So those 2 players will be big.
Well, when you go on the other side, Redland tonight, they're going to look to try to run the ball against a very aggressive Cedar Cliff defense. Now, we saw action in the secondary Cedar Cliff that hurt him the last couple of weeks, especially in the Bishop McDevitt game. But they're going to have to stack the line tonight to stop Justin Johnson.
Yeah, Justin Johnson is going to be counted on to really be effective in the run game for Redland. Right now, with Cedar Cliff pumping out 42 points a game, to slow the offense down and keep that offense off the field. So you go to a run and you feed him the ball 20 to 30 times a game and help him pick up first downs. That's how you keep him off the field.
Well, more importantly, you've got 2 crowds, Cedar Cliff West Shore Stadium. You've got Redland at the West Shore Stadium. The Red Sea tonight as I look behind us. This is going to be one magical matchup here. We call it the West Shore War. Kickoff on ABC 27 right after these messages.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
The Brenner family of dealerships gives you better pricing, better customer service, better selection, and a better service department for the life of your vehicle. We'll show you how at Brenner Chrysler Jeep, Brenner Nissan, and Brenner Pre-Owned. The Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg, and on Paxton Street, Harrisburg. 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 95 years.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess. My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites, only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
Well, welcome to West Shore Stadium. Todd McCall, Jerome Presley, Archie Smith Jr. also joining us. It is the West Shore War. You're taking a great look at the Red Sea tonight. They're going to be really that, I would say, that 12th man in the stands. And then you look across the Red Sea and Cedar Cliff. They are ready here. Two schools, one district ready to match up tonight. Cedar Cliff will have the ball, and Jerome,
your thoughts early on the start of everything.
Well, first of all, the student section for Redland, they're going nuts, and there you get to see the Cedar Cliff student section. When we saw the Cedar Cliff players going off the field for pregame, that Redland section was going bananas over there, so that was pretty cool to see. But for the most part, it's going to be setting the tone. Which team can set the tone on this opening kickoff? And you're going to look for Cedar Cliff to come down the field and do what they've been doing all year, and that is put points on the board.
Well, that's going to go into the end zone. Cedar Cliff will have the ball at the 20-yard line to start off. Grant Brenneman will bring his team off. The Colts onto the field. We highlighted in pregame Sean Hastings. Congratulations, just signing with St. Francis. Now we know Brenneman.
Verbally committed.
Excuse me. Also, we know Colt Brenneman will be playing at Colgate next year. He has 6,500 yards. I mean, that's just something that really you don't hear about ever happening. He's got 1,468 yards on the season already. I mean, you can't say enough already coming out shotgun formation to start the first quarter. He'll keep it himself, run to the left. And, Jerome, you talked about his ability to run. He shows a little bit there.
Yeah, he definitely can run, and that gives him a threat. But the good thing this year is he's running when he wants to as opposed to when he has to, and they're not needing to run him as much because he has so many playmakers on the outside. So he's getting the ball into his playmakers' hands and allowing them to get upfield, and that takes the pounding off of him as he prepares this year to get ready for his collegiate career next year.
Well, it'll be second down. Brenneman over top. Just like that, Cedar Cliff has the play that they want with Bobby Whalen. Whalen busting over the middle for a big pickup for Cedar Cliff.
And that is the polished quarterback play that we've been seeing from him, hitting Bobby Whalen in the seam, which is always a really good route to run, especially when you have teams playing a cover 2 system. That leaves that seam open. Whalen is a big target for him to hit down the seam.
Well, that'll be first down, change or move for Cedar Cliff. Welcome to ABC 27 High School Sports Live tonight for the West Shore War. We got a great one for you, so stay tuned. First down and 10. Trips formation to the right. Brenneman going to keep it up, going across the middle. Big hole, still on his feet, crossing over the 20-yard line. Big run for the Colts and Brenneman.
And that was a nice 30-yard chunk of yardage there for him. Again, his ability to read, you see the defense collapsing on him. Number 50 coming from the outside for Redland gets some instant pressure in the face of Brenneman, but Brenneman takes it right up the middle for a big gain.
First and 10. Ball spotted on the 20-yard line for Cedar Cliff. Hastings going to shift to the tackles to the left side. And Chris Thompson with his first carry over the right side, crossing over the 15, just shy of the 10-yard line. Just really quick. They make quick work of it today.
Absolutely, and I think we've talked about it in the pregame, Todd. This Redland team is a good team. They're 5-2, but they've had 2 big losses. One to Carlisle early in the season, and then that Lower Dauphin loss 2 weeks ago, which was a hard loss. We saw Lower Dauphin and you're thinking this Redland team should have done well against them, and they weren't able to pull it out.
Second and 1, Thompson across the left side, crossing over about the 4-yard line. And that'll move the change. It'll be first and goal for Cedar Cliff.
And again, a straight-ahead run. You see that offensive line, which we have always been impressed with. This Cedar Cliff offensive line, they fire off the ball well. They have good size up front, and they make the running lanes for their running backs easy to run to.
Pat Moody came up to make the tackle for Cedar Cliff. Thompson bouncing outside. Stingy on that left side. Tate Myers and a defensive core coming up to help make the tackle.
And that's what Redland is going to have to do, is they have to knuckle up and come up and make tackles, gang tackles. That's the way you bring it as a team and as a unit to try to slow down this Colts running game and this Colts offense as a whole.
I like the pursuit of Danny Mateo on that left side, coming up number 32 to make a big hit for Redland. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for Cedar Cliff. Brenneman under center. Give to Thompson. Nope. Takes the give. Rolls out. Looks in the end zone. Picture perfect. Touchdown, Cedar Cliff.
And again, that's Tristan McDonald. Good pass play, good fake on the play action. Brenneman able to square his shoulders and put the ball on the money, and you just saw a textbook drive for this Colts offense, culminating in the touchdown.
Man, oh man, you got it right. Touchdown. Brenneman to McDonald. Point after's up, and it's good. And that's an early 7 on the board for Cedar Cliff. More action back here at the West Shore Stadium after these messages.
No regrets.
If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them. Erie Insurance.
Welcome back. There's a look at the Colts side, Cedar Cliff side. Beautiful crowds here tonight at West Shore Stadium, and it's everything that you expect when it comes to this game. One district, 2 teams, we keep saying, and the wars just continued. Usually this game traditionally has been played in the beginning of the year, the first game of the season. Now it's conveniently located at week 8.
Right. I mean, this will be a good ending to the season too, but again, this is a good game against 2 decent teams. But right now, we've seen this Cedar Cliff team multiple times this year, and we know what they can bring to the table. They are extremely talented on all levels, especially offensively. They can put points on the board.
Well, Red Atlanta crossed over the 25-yard line, make it 26-yard line. They'll have the ball. Jake Raddick and his crew will come out to get their aspects of things started, and we have a player down. That's Tate Myers is down for Redland. We hope he is going to be okay. We'll be right back after these messages.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Welcome back. 8:55 to play first quarter. Picture-perfect drive for Cedar Cliff. Went down the field, set up by a couple Thompson runs, but more importantly by Brenneman Arm. Brenneman connects with Tristan McDonald for an early touchdown. 7-0 Cedar Cliff. Redland will have their first possession coming right up. And Tate Myers, is the fullback that is the injured player, so we hope that he will be fine.
Right. Definitely. I mean, you don't need injuries. I mean, it's this time of year where players are really sore and just working through some nagging stuff, but you don't want anything big.
Great. Raddick gives to Johnson. Johnson's going to fight for, looks like he was going to be stuffed for a loss, but he'll create at least a yard, getting 2 on the carry. Last drive, 7 plays, 80 yards. Chalked up 2 minutes and 59 seconds off the clock for Cedar Cliff.
And this is where Redland is going to have to show that they can move this defensive line. I mean, we've seen these guys. They are very hard to move, and they do a good job up front with filling those lanes in the run game.
Justin Johnson, left side, bouncing out across the 35-yard line. Nice pickup.
And we see Johnson getting upfield. I mean, he's a pretty put-together guy, 5'9", 195-pound running back, and also doubles up as a linebacker. And he's going to be counted on to try to be the bell cow of this offense for Redline. And again, ball control is going to be very important, because if you can generate and keep getting first downs, 2 rushing plays, a first down, that does one thing that's very important. It keeps that drive alive, and it keeps that Colts offense off the field. And we know they can put up points. 42 points a game that Cedar Cliff Colts team can do on offense. So you have to keep them off the field with the run game.
Raddick back to throw. Looking downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Jalen Gaither. But every broken up. That defensive line, when you talk about them up front, Cordell Dorsey and Eric Musselman, Cole Perlick, Sean Hastings, all big-sized defensive linemen. And then a pretty good secondary, good linebacking core in Ball and Dugan and Thompson. You get McDonald. Wellen playing free safety. Ready to give to Johnson. Johnson bouncing across the 40-yard line, putting his head down, picking up a few more, and he'll be tackled. A couple players with Wellen come up to make the initial hit.
Yeah, and I think, again, you're seeing what Redland is trying to do. They're trying to get in manageable down and distance by using the running game. And now you're in 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 4 right now. So you can run or pass to get the first down. But you definitely want to keep this drive alive, because you don't want to give the ball back to Cedar Cliff this soon in your drive.
I like the blocking ability on the tackle, Tyler Lewis, who made a nice tackle block on Eric Musselman to spur Johnson. And somehow, Hunter Briner, they are by no means ready not to push this ball down the field here in Redland. Going to be a first down, move the chains for Redland. Briner putting his head down, running it very effectively. One more time at it. You'll see him spin, stay on his feet, bounce out, and pick up a couple more on the outside. And they're about across the 50-yard line, call it the 47. Raddick's going to keep it himself and pick up 8. Good carry.
And again, Todd, a nice methodical drive down the field. Some of those Colts go both ways. And those guys, keeping them on the field on defense, and then they have to come back on offense, you want to do that. And that will help keep yourself in the game, especially if you can have this drive and then culminate in a first down or a touchdown. That'll be big for this Redland team.
How about Tristan McDonald coming up putting a pretty good hit on Raddick, the quarterback. You don't know how much you want to see him taking that blow like that. On the tackle was Sean Hastings, Johnson on the carry.
And number 40, Donovan Ball, also from his linebacker position, came up, had his helmet off, so he had to come off the field because his helmet was off as a safety precaution. But again, they are stout up front, and you're not going to just run the ball and ram it down the teeth of that defense. Take a look at that defensive line. You tell me they got some size up front. Cole Perlick, 6'5", 305, and Cordell Dorsey, 5'9", 275 in the middle of that defense.
Oh, there's going to be a fumble going to pop out. It's going to be picked back up by Briner. Briner's going to come all the way across the side of the field, pick a little bit up out of it, crossing over the 50-yard line, make it to 49.
And Briner pretty much saves some yardage. I mean, and that's the thing. If you got to punt the ball, you want to make sure that you save yardage. This almost was a disaster for Redland. He's able to pick up the ball, get a couple of good blocks, and just get as much as he can so that this punt can hopefully get some field position advantage for Redland.
Well, Tristan McDonald come up and make a good play. He had a touchdown tonight, and he stripped the ball. He's the one that made that play. Richie Skies will do the punting. Ball was picked up by Welling, but stuffed pretty quickly. Actually, that was Nick Yarnovic that actually returned the punt. But man, oh man, he didn't have much time. Great special teams play. They got downfield. Punt hung up enough to get downfield. And he didn't really have a second to even think about it.
And that's that kick coverage. You want to get your guys down there, and they have to break down and make a play to avoid the big play. And it pins Cedar Cliff back. So we saw in the last drive, Cedar Cliff has a way of getting chunks of yardage on big plays in any drive. So you want to slow that down. Be very sound in your assignments on defense if you're Redland.
First and 10, 4:54 to play here in the first quarter. Brenneman will have another shot at it. Give to Whalen, and Whalen bouncing the left side, staying on his feet, running hard. And Jordan Weldon will come up to make the tackle for Redland. Whalen's a great change of pace back. Like, he's quick, he's small, he looks like he's hard to find for the defensive lineman side, and picks up a pretty good 8-yard carry.
And that's the problem. You know, getting 8 yards on the first down is very difficult for Redland. It'll spell for a long night if they can't shore that D up.
Brenneman taking his time. Hooks up to Whalen. That's going to move the chains. That'll be a first down. And that'll be...
And again, you just see Brenneman, he stands tall in the pocket, delivers the ball on a strike, and gets the first down. Take the easy yards that get you the first down. You know, you can hit downfield when you need to, but that's good decision. Just check down, get the first down. He knew what his down and distance was on that play.
It was Dubas on the left side. Coming up to make the tackles, Danny Mateo for Redland. 3:45 to play, first and 10.
You see, you know, the defensive surge for Redland was very impressive on that play. Guys just stoning the defensive line and not getting a lot of pushback for them. So that was just a good play. And you see that the rallying to the ball from Redland. That's what you want to have to do to this Cedar Cliff team.
Twins receiver split left and right. Gives it Dubas. No, actually, Brenneman kept it, but Joel Consenzi comes up to make the tackle for Redland.
And Consenzi, you know, we've seen him today. He's already showed an impact from that defensive line position. So we've seen what he can do. So that's good effort from his defensive position.
It'll be third down 15 for Cedar Cliff. A long way to go here. Whalen. Oh, no, Brenneman. That was Brenneman. I'm sorry. Brenneman on the carry. Troy Cranack came up to make the tackle.
And I'll tell you what, this is a good stand for Redland coming up. Troy Cranack comes up and makes a solid tackle to get Brenneman to the ground because we know how dangerous he could be. Very, very good defensive stand for this Redland team.
Well, yeah, Cranack wrapped very well. McDonald set to punt. Matt Moody will let it go. That was a good hold for Redland. You look at that positive. They had positive yardage on their offensive side. Once they got across the 50, hurt themselves a little bit. Now they're on a second possession, first and 10. Johnson, left side, or up the middle, more importantly. McDonald, Welling, and Thompson coming up to make the tackle for Cedar Cliff.
I'll tell you what, Todd, Redland's coming to play, man, and you know, they'll be willing to grind out yards, and that's 4 yards on first down. That's not a bad idea. I mean, you see these guys are really coming here to play. This is a rivalry game, so everybody's going to play up, and that's what you're seeing.
Reddick rolling left and coming back and getting chased down by Chris Thompson. Thompson making a beautiful play on defense. You'll see him play offensively, get a lot of carries, and he's just equally a good defensive player as well. Bounces out here, you'll see, really wasn't blocked. And Reddick didn't have a chance there on that play.
Just good defensive effort, not giving the quarterback any time to set up and survey the field to deliver a ball. So again, good stop for this Cedar Cliff team.
Third down 14. Long way to go. You'll see trips receivers here on your left side of your screen and a single receiver on the far right. No backs. Going over the middle, connected, big pickup. That's Josiah Espinoza with a great pickup for Redland, and they really, really surprised them on that play. Great play call. Reddick with time.
40-yard pass play for Redland. This was, like you said, good strike by the quarterback, throwing the ball into the seam. Reddick gets the ball right where he needs to. And we talked about Redland being able, can they make big plays? And you saw right there a big play to keep that offense on the field.
Jet sweep left side. Johnson, great play call. But Cedar Cliff was stingy and knew it was coming. How about these uniforms tonight? I'm really going to give the hats off to the uniforms for Redland.
I am digging the Redland uniforms. I saw them when they came out, really sharp.
Johnson coming around the left side again. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. We'll have more on ABC 27.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Well, in our start of our game, before the game, the Cedar Cliff and Redland cheerleaders had a chance to support the Central PA Food Bank by donating non-perishable foods to people in need. Thanks to Giant Foods, cheerleaders this year are all across the Mid-State have the opportunity to lead the Giant Food fight against hunger. There they are pre-game doing their thing. We thank all the committed schools working together to fight hunger.
Hunger, that's right. We're gonna win this fight. Yeah. F-I-G-H-T, fighting. Hunger. F-I-G-H-T, fighting. Hunger. F-I-G-H-T, fighting. Hunger.
Advanced Hoops AAU tryouts are coming up October the 29th. This is a great time to get an evaluation from the Advanced Hoops staff and prepare the upcoming spring AAU season. Advanced Hoops is a top AAU program year after year. Sign up at www.advancedhoops.com. Our next broadcast, Central Dauphin East at Cumberland Valley. Go check our full schedule at hsslivetv.com for more information. Raddick up the middle on a 3rd down and 5. And he'll be short. You take a look at that play, and Raddick kept it himself. Now they're going to be a 4th down. They're in 4th down territory, so Redland probably 4th and 2 are going to take an opportunity here to go for it. Reddick looking over top. He has a receiver right. The ball was stripped.
Wow.
Incomplete, and flags were down, so I'm not really sure what the flag was. It looks like maybe it's pass interference.
Well, I know Jalen Gaither had it in his hands, and then it was stripped out right at the last minute. And you saw him. It was like it was ripped out of a glove that had stickum on it. He really had that in his hands. Just a good play overall.
Well, that pass interference goes against Cedar Cliff, so it'll be a 1st down for Redland.
I didn't see pass interference. I thought he got there right after the ball was there. I didn't really see that. I think that was Whalen getting over there. Oh no, yeah, I didn't see pass interference. Yep. Defending on the play was number 13. That's Chandler Heipel, and I just didn't see pass interference. I thought that was a brilliant play when you see it in slow-mo.
There's a good shot of the Redland Patriots. They're pretty happy to get another opportunity at this one. And you know right now they want an opportunity here in the red zone. They want to make it count. Coach Weaver and his squad. Raddick. Johnson left side. Not much. He'll pick up about 2. Taylor Lewis will come up to make the tackle for Redland. Or, excuse me, Dugan.
Great opportunity for this Redland team to get in the end zone. I mean, you're talking about that pass interference penalty, which put them significantly in the red zone with an opportunity to even this score. And right now, they're in a really good position here in this game, in a rivalry game between two schools that know each other very well.
2nd and 7. Reddick rolling right. He connects. Touchdown, Redland. They're back on the board. You hear the crowd.
And that was John Green getting in the back of the end zone. Beautiful pass by number 15, Reddick. And Green just able to walk into the end zone. And you see the hypeness of this Patriot team. They're really excited. They're in this game against a tough competitor. And we know in the division, there's several teams at the top with one loss. So even though out of conference, there may be some different losses. And you have the Cedar Cliff team that's 5-1 right now in conference play. You have 3 to 4 teams that all have one loss, and Redland is one of them. So this is a big game for the conference.
Well, the point after was good. 7-7. We'll be right back after these messages on ABC 27.
The Brenner family of dealerships gives you better pricing, better customer service, better selection, and a better service department for the life of your vehicle. We'll show you how at Brenner Chrysler Jeep, Brenner Nissan, and Brenner Pre-Owned. The Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg, and on Paxton Street, Harrisburg. 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 95 years.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers, All Giant Produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess.
My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
Well, Redland has tied it up on a Raddick to John Green touchdown in the back of the end zone. Cedar Cliff 7, Redland 7. Cedar Cliff will have the ball back on their third possession here at the second quarter. Everything we expected in the West Shore War on ABC 27. Short kick going on to the left side. It's going to be fumbled by Chris Thompson. And look, just like that, Redland Patriots with the ball. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. on the field. Archie, this is going to change the momentum of this game big time. Archie Smith.
Hey, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this is an all-out dogfight. If you look at the defensive line versus the offensive line, I'm standing down here on the field and watching the white paint, chips of paint coming off of the helmet, man. These guys are out here. This is a real definition of a rivalry, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Archie. Talking about paint chips coming off the helmets, and you know sometimes these helmets are repainted, retaped for some of the games, and that doesn't surprise me in what we call the West Shore War, paint chips coming off of helmets, Jerome.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can throw records out the window. I mean, because it becomes a West Shore War. This is the home stadium of both teams, so this is a big deal here.
8-play drive, 68 yards. Thanks for Travis Sparks, our statistician. On top of that, right side carry. Briner to the right side. And Dugan coming up along with a host of Donovan Ball and a few other linebacker core and defensive linemen coming up to make the tackle for Redland. Look at Chris Thompson fumbling the ball here. And when he fumbled, the worst problem is he actually kicked it. It hit his foot.
Right.
And it favored Redland, and they got the ball back right where they want. 2nd and 7. Boy, you get a momentum like big touchdown and get the ball right back on a turnover. Those things will come back to you. Raddick with a beautiful arm overthrows his intended receiver. And tonight, I'm really impressed with the arm of this kid.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a good play design. Good coverage on the play, but a good play design. And you see Raddick hits the drag right route coming from the back end. He rolls out left, and then there's a drag route coming on the back side. So he's able to hit. If he hits that, that's good. I mean, the play was open. He just wasn't able to connect.
And Archie, let's go down to you. Archie, you played not only defensive on the side of things, you played quarterback. I'm impressed with Jake Raddick, the Redland quarterback. He rears back and really does throw that ball.
Guys, if you can look at his stance, he is like 6'2", but if you take a look before he takes the snap. Look how low he is down receiving the ball from the center. And that represents that he's trying to come out of his stance quick and be able to square his shoulders up and to make a deep pass. Now look, that pass was a roll to the left and about a good 30-yard rope on a post route down the middle of the field, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, thank you, Archie. That post route, Archie called it exactly the way he saw it. That's exactly what happened. Take another look at it. He's going to, this is a rollout, this is a touchdown. Now he fired that one a little high, but John Green come up to make the tackle. One more time at it. But when you look back at that last play he had, as Archie said, Jerome, he rolled completely left.
And it was designed that way. Yeah. It was designed that way for him to roll left, which brings the defense towards that. Their defense is right. And then it allows you to have extra momentum to throw that ball on where a guy can actually run onto it. It just wasn't on time.
3rd and 7. That one was overthrown and intercepted by Alex Lance. Across the 20-yard line. Oh, he's going to come back all the way on the other side. And boom, he's going to be hit. Wow.
And that's a hard interception to throw right there. And again, we've seen Reddick throw high several times, and this was another one. He threw high and overthrew his receiver right into the waiting hands of the defense. And that just hurts you on a drive where you have momentum, and Lance is able to come and haul that in.
Yeah, Alex Lance come up to make the interception, and then the tackle was made by Matt Moody. Matt Moody puts a shot on. Take a look right here. Invicta Crew right on top of this. Man, oh man. You talk about a hit. Boy, oh boy. Matt Moody bringing the wood here. Whalen, left side, stays on his feet, rolling, across the 30. He is tough to take down. He's not a big dude. Boy, oh boy, does he run hard.
Yeah, I mean, Whalen has that height at once, about 6 foot, 170 pounds, but they use him for a lot of different things. Use him in the slot. They'll let him run the ball a little bit. And again, you have playmakers on this offense. So Brenneman can hand off to these guys, or he can deliver balls to them and let them do their thing, and that keeps a lot of punishment off your quarterback. So, but when he wants to, we've seen he can tuck it and take it 60 on you in a minute.
Levitsky and Musselman, Hambright, laceration up front, and Hastings, big offensive linemen. The receiving core, McDonald, Yarnovic, Whalen, and Lance.
And you see Thompson gets up the field and gets the first down. And the one thing I like about this offense is when everything is clicking with this offense, it's very, very hard to stop, because then the whole field is open, and we know they can put up points quickly. I mean, they've hit the 60 mark once and 50 as well on teams this year, averaging 42 overall.
Brenneman rolling right, firing. It's complete. And Justin Resto coming up to make the catch.
Now, Todd,
that's Lance. Excuse me. That was.
You got to look at this pass play, Brenneman. You see him survey the field. Bullet guns that into his receiver and lets him get upfield for 30 yards. Completion. Get it into their hands and let them get upfield.
Matt Moody came up to make the tackle on Alex Lance. Lance did some German work after the catch, and that's one of the things you hope your receivers do. It helps the quarterback out a little bit, pad some numbers.
Yes, it does.
What do you do after the catch? Brenneman trips receivers to the right, single to the left on your screen. Brenneman looking right quick, and that ball was almost picked off, timed perfectly. Archie Smith, I'd like you to take that one away if you didn't get a chance to see it down on the field.
Guys, what you see there is film study. When these guys see this formation, they know what they're looking for. They're knowing that this is actually a screen. And you can take this DB right here, Espinoza. He actually gambles. I mean, they could have faked him and went up the field, but after film study, he knew this play would come, and this was the perfect result that you'll get out of that, guys.
I mean, you see instant diagnosing right there, and that is the first incompletion for Brenneman in the pass game. I mean, he's been on target, his first incompletion.
Well, that tells you a whole lot about that kid. Give to Thompson. Thompson bouncing outside, across the 20. 10. Touchdown, Cedar Cliff. Unbelievable. You could tell from the moment he got that ball, he was not going to be denied that end zone.
Well, I'll tell you what, you see the stiff arm on that play? I mean, he had a couple of them. Stiff arm, like, get off of me. That's the get off of me stiff arm. That's what I like.
Look at this. Thompson was determined from the moment he got the ball.
2 hands on the ball. Get off of me.
Wow. He stiff arms and delivers a stiff arm to Jalen Gaither, and there was no chance of bringing him down.
nuts over there on the other side. They're used to be on this side for home games, but today they're away.
Point after by Sebastio is no good. That can come back to determine to hurt. There's Chris Thompson right up your screen, not to be denied. Touchdown Cedar Cliff. More on ABC 27 after these messages.
The front is mostly masonry.
Then the masonry will meet the window frame. I think this
We provide countless resources and endless opportunities to live your best.
I really am living well.
Call 1-877-2-LIVE-WELL to discover resources available for you.
Well, welcome back, 13-7. Cedar Cliff just taking the lead on a Chris Thompson touchdown. And that point after, you know what, if you're a Cedar Cliff fan, you can go, oh man, in a tough game like this, the West Shore War, those point afters, Drum, they become so important.
They do. I mean, they are extremely important.
That was Hunter Briner on the carry.
Hunter Briner on return. Tackled by Donovan Ball.
Donovan Ball came up to make the tackle. We got a total yards, 173. Cedar Cliff 72. But you know what? Tonight, I mean, Redland is playing in. Well, you know, coming into this game, I knew in the Keystone Division that they beat a tough Susquehanna team, 17-16. Found a way to win there. They beat McDevitt already, so McDevitt has one loss. Cedar Cliff has one loss. Susquehanna and McDevitt playing tonight, both with one loss. I mean, something tonight will be determined. We're going to have two teams with two losses at the top of the Keystone Division in that conference. So that's really going to change some things here, and we'll see what happens. I look forward to finding out the scores as I look at them as they come in tonight and or tomorrow. Again, the Keystone Division, we talked about it year after year, Jerome, being really one of the toughest conferences. I would say balance is probably the big key in the Keystone.
It is. I mean, you definitely have a lot of teams that are very similar. I think previous years, though, McDevitt would kind of be out front, and then you have Cedar Cliff in there as well, where this year it seems like everybody is in striking distance of everyone else. So I think they play each other tough. It's good talent. We've seen a lot of these kids from all these different schools having opportunities at the next level. So that lets you know. And we saw Whalen on this play from his defensive line position coming up with the rest of the Colts to show their defensive prowess from showing that everybody meeting at the helmet of the ball carrier. So great job defensively by the Colts.
Yeah, also Dugan coming up and Hastings coming up to help. They are gang tackling tonight. Both defenses, I give hats off, they're playing pretty well. Johnson on the catch from Raddick. One more look at it. Johnson takes it, squares, knows he has to turn. Backside tackle by Donovan Ball coming.
And we see Redlands, what they want to do is get Johnson the ball. They want to get to him many different ways. So you want to run him the ball. It's one of those situations where you're just shy of the play. I mean, Cedar Cliff last drive, 5 plays and 75 yards. So I think that's important. So now we have Redland. You come out, try to answer. You don't. Now the defense has to stiffen up. You don't want this game to get away from you.
Well, Redland will have to punt. And the ball goes over Briner's head. Briner's going to have to try. Briner's going to look to pass it. Throwing down the field. It's going to be incomplete. I'm sorry, intercepted. Excuse me.
I thought he was going to try to punt it.
I had no idea what he was going to do, and Ebersol come up to make the interception on special teams, giving Cedar Cliff great possession here in a second. Look, snap over the head, and that was really high. But he says, wait a minute, I'm going to turn into be a quarterback. He's going to roll. I thought he was going to punt too. Fires it. I originally, from the angle I was at, thought the ball went out of bounds, but it was actually intercepted. Coming up to make the play is Brady Ebersol.
And that's the mistake that could break a team. You know, when your momentum, you have it, you give it up with the touchdown and an opportunity to score, you don't get it, and then you try to make a desperate play, and it ends up being an interception and given good field position by the Cedar Cliff. And you don't want to give them easy opportunities.
Brenneman to Lance, the hookup. You know, I think about it when when you look at it, if Briner was tackled, the punter, Hunter Briner was tackled where he was, it was inside the 10-yard line. So the interception is somewhat like a punt. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't the worst of the interceptions, but then
it wasn't horrible, but it still gave good field position. And again, in football games, especially close ones against a rivalry, there are three things you don't want to do. Number one, you don't want to have mistakes that cost you a lot of penalties. Number two, you don't want to have turnovers, and that's exactly what we saw was turnovers, and you have to win the third down battle.
Right.
So the turnover situation in this play, it's a momentum shifter. So even if it's a turnover where it looks like a punt, as a way of energizing a defense.
Well, that pass was incomplete. It was a low snap for Brenneman. He rolled to his left, threw it incomplete. The intended receiver was Yarnick. Look at it one more time. He threw it and just delivered low, and it was no good. 2nd and 10, and Cedar Cliff's going to want to take a timeout, so they're going to take a time to talk about it. Well, it's time to vote for Mr. PA Football. Go to MrPAFootball.com. We'll have more information on what you can do from a fan perspective for Mr. PA Football coming up at halftime. Also, stay tuned, fans, for our Highmark halftime report. Next week, this week, Cedar Cliff and Redland. Next week, we got another great matchup on Week 9 coming up for you. But more importantly, it's been a season that's gone pretty quickly like normal. Hey, Advanced Hoops Fall AAU Tryout Saturday, October 29, 2016. Register today at advancedhoops.com or call 717-657-2620.
Yeah, it's definitely been a good year with just football in general. We can say that every year. I mean, we look at the Commonwealth Division, and we saw earlier in the year we got a chance to call Central Dauphin games. We saw how tough they are. Then we saw Cumberland Valley. And then we look at this conference, the Keystone, and we see these two teams get here. And then we go down to the Colonial and Capital. We've got a chance. You look at Milton Hershey and Middletown. They're on a head collision against each other, and they're both playing some really, really good football. So you just look at the landscape of football in this area. We got State College, and we've seen what they've been doing. And Harrisburg draws them tonight, so that's going to be a big one for them. So just really good football in Central Pennsylvania.
Jordan Weldon come up to make the tackle, but it's 1st down and 10. Brenneman carrying, showing his effectiveness with his legs. Give left side, and that goes to Bobby Weldon. Actually, correction on that's Mike Dubas on the carry.
And again, we talk about that mistake of that interception. Look what it has done for Cedar Cliff. It gave them momentum. It had them keep momentum, and now they're able to just get themselves back into offensive rhythm. And if they can score a touchdown here, they're in good standings for them. I mean, they're in a good position.
Right.
And they've pretty much taken control of this game.
2nd and 4. If they do score, probably look for them to go for 2. Missed that point after. And touchdown Dubas, the right side. And he's going to let you know about it right there with the double point. Mike Dubas, you see the big old hole. He wasn't really even touched. He held the ball up and scored. Very effective run, but look at the hole that was opened up.
Again, that offensive line, and we talked about how good and special they are.
They are journeyman.
They're really good offensive line. We talked about how good they were. We saw them against Bishop McDevitt. And even in a loss, they put up 35 points in a loss. I mean, that lets you know, most of the time you put up 35 points, you're going to win that game. They put up 35 points in a loss against a McDevitt team that what we saw was so much athleticism on the field. And Cedar Cliff, they punch for punch going against them.
Right.
So we know that they can compete with anybody. So here they're coming in and just playing tough.
Well, that was offsides on the defense. Savasio will set the kick with Brenneman in the hold. It's up. It's good. And Cedar Cliff goes up 20-7 here in the West Shore War. More on ABC 27 after these messages.
Every day, we pride ourselves in what we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Well, Cedar Cliff now kind of opening up, but has been a very good first half, very close and tightly fought first half. But Cedar Cliff puts another touchdown on the board after a mistake. And you remember that snap that went over the head of Briner, set up, and he threw an interception, set up good field position for Cedar Cliff, and they punch it in. But more importantly, it's probably the holes that are opened up. Drum, talk about this hole on the right side.
You just see the penetration or lack thereof from Redland, and you see those offensive linemen up front really doing a good job for Cedar Cliff of just moving guys. I mean, you just saw that, and you have a fullback going into play and Retz, and it's just good play.
Points off turnovers at 2 touchdowns off the turnovers by Cedar Cliff. They converted on both of the turnovers for Redland, and that's where a team like Cedar Cliff comes back to hurt you. They will make it. They'll make it count when you.
Yeah, and I definitely want to know from Archie down below. Hey, Arch, when after that touchdown, and actually from that interception on, what are your thoughts about that Redland, the momentum from Redland? They were really hyped, and then all of a sudden that interception. What did that turnover do to that Redland sideline?
Well, guys, I'm down here patrolling the sidelines, and they are still upbeat. I mean, the quarterback is still telling his line, hey, thank you, good protection, good protection. They're talking to each other. These guys are still upbeat, man. This is a rivalry game. These guys are not counting themselves out yet.
And that's big. I mean, to have, be down 20-7. And the good thing is they're still in this game.
Radek's pass was complete. And you see that Matt Moody took it over left and fumbled out of bounds, and Pat Dugan come up to make the tackle. I kind of like those Redland helmets in terms of, I love the
those uniforms, man, they could rank as the best,
seriously,
best uniforms, around. I mean, they are sharp. When they came out, they are sharp.
Then they got the numbers on the one side with the nice Star Spangled Banner looking Redland on the other side.
That is sharp.
And then when you look at the pants, there's a little bit of gray and blue on the shirts, and then the pants have those Patriots running down the side. It is probably, bar none, my favorite Patriot uniform ever. Now, I don't know if people out there in the audience would be arguing, or the crowds or fans don't like them, but they are really cool. Take a look at it right here.
That is sharp.
That is sharp.
Look at the pants. They got the Patriots down the pants, too. So we need to do that more often, is when we look at these uniforms for these programs, and you get a chance to see, what they have going. And that may be one of the more detailed looks in the mid-bang.
Radek's pass would be complete. They're going to call it in, and that was Jalen Gaither, 21-yard pickup.
And again, Radek's good ball. He steps back, tall in the pocket, delivers a ball right on the money on the sidelines to only where his player can get it. Backside shoulder, get 1 foot down.
They got one down, and that's all you need in high school and college, and that will count. 1st and 10. Redland moving the ball. 48-yard line, 49 call it. 3rd and 8. I'm sorry, 1st and 10, excuse me. 3:08 to play is what I meant to say. And incomplete. Matt Moody was the intended receiver.
And Radek, again, is high on the play. I mean, we have a couple of balls here where Radek is thrown high. So he has to see if he can get that vision down. And many times when a quarterback throws high, it's usually a footwork issue. They got to get their footwork in sync so that they can deliver a strike on the money. And sometimes that pressure has a way of getting in your face and causing that as well.
Forner, Lewis, Peyton, Hoke are the offensive linemen up front, doing a good job for Cedar Cliff, for Redland. Lance coming in to make the tackle. Be a loss. There was a loss on the Redland side, 2 yards. Look at the third down conversion. Cedar Cliff is actually 0 for 3. You wouldn't think that. Whereas Redland is 2 for 4, 50% on third down. So they got a big one here, third down, 12. Reddick rolling right. Looking downfield, thrown on the run. It's going to be intercepted. Dugan's going to carry it back across the 50-yard line and give Cedar Cliff the ball with time. When you got a quarterback like Brenneman, you do not want to give him the ball back.
And again, another costly mistake for the Cedar Cliff team. And right when you see some momentum happening, another interception and another turnover. Again, that's one of those 3 don'ts, turnovers. You cannot give the ball back to a team like Cedar Cliff. And they will make you pay.
I got to apologize. 50 to the 47-yard line. So Donovan right side, taking people with him. And here's what you do. You talk of Jerome, you talk about it all the time on big pickups in the running game on first down.
Yeah, I mean, it sets a tone, and when you're able to do that, you're in second and short or third and short. It gives you the ability to continue to use your whole arsenal of an offense. When you're in, third and long, it's pretty much a pass play. You know what I mean? Your defense are able to dictate what they want to do.
Thompson refusing to go down, across the 20-yard line and pulling people with him. Tackle on the play was Kronzenski.
And I'll tell you what, Thompson is a ball carrier. I mean, he gets upfield 27 yards of hard yards. You're talking about this guy. He's strong. He's strong at the point of attack, low to the ground, and you cannot arm tackle him. And there you saw he gets upfield and makes a play. And again, this Cedar Cliff offense is in control right now, or the team is in control.
Well, big pickup for the Colts, looking off to the right to get the play. Brenneman coming into the huddle. Stay tuned for our Highmark halftime report and our Hoffman Ford halftime stats. Archie Smith will be joining us in the booth along with Jerome and I. So stay tuned. 1:19 to play. 2nd and 2. Brenneman rolling right, looking into the end zone. Is it caught? It's a touchdown, Cedar Cliff. And that's McDonald coming up with the ball again. I wasn't sure whether or not he got one in, but it's a touchdown, Cedar Cliff Colts.
Well, let's see. Brenneman, he waits a little bit. I actually thought this was open a little sooner, but he was able to get the catch. And one of the things that happened, number 9, McDonald gets both hands on the ball right when he gets hit, gets a foot down, touchdown. Good ball by Brenneman.
Archie, that was a great ball, great catch. Your thoughts?
I think that was a phenomenal catch. Actually, I'm going to agree with Jerome. He kind of waited a little bit, but he kind of waited till the defense got closer, and I think that was a kind of gamble, but when you got McDonald there with short hands like that, I'll take that gamble with myself.
Well, just like that, Cedar Cliff puts 27 on the board with 1:10 to play. We'll be back after these messages on ABC 27.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops.
It is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Karen has 459 friends, but none of them made sure she got home okay. None of them suggested she skip the next drink, try a glass of water, or maybe just call it a night. Karen has 459 friends, but tonight, what she really needed was one good one.
Well, 27-7, Cedar Cliff. Another Brenneman touchdown to McDonald. Both 2 touchdowns tonight. Brenneman throwing for 2, and McDonald picking up 2. And a big carry by Justin Johnson on the kickoff. He'll take it over. Last drive, 3 plays, 48 yards, and it chalked up 110. So stay tuned. Interview with Sandra Colello from Medard's house coming up at halftime as well. Our Charlie Fortney had an opportunity to talk to her. Also, we'll have our Huffman Ford halftime stats and our Highmark halftime report. Archie Smith will be joining Jerome and I up in the booth right now 101 to play, and really Redland wants to put something on the board here.
They definitely do. The problem is Redland doesn't have a offense that typically puts tons of points on the board. They average around 24 points a game. So that's not bad. I mean, it's able for them to get wins, but they have a couple of really close games that they've played. I mean, that when they played Susquehanna Township, that was a 17-16 game. You know, they only put up 17-6 against Mechanicsburg. Or McDevitt. They 13-7 loss to Lower Dauphin. So. Right. You know, they have opportunities where they put up 40 on Hershey, but Hershey is struggling this year, so that was a little different.
Yeah.
But when it counts, you don't see them putting up tons of points. And you're looking at Cedar Cliff on the other end. They're right on schedule right now. They're doing exactly what they've been doing all year. They're 27 points. They've scored more in this half so far than Redland averages.
I mean, you got turnovers. Look at this one right here. This one was a costly turnover by Thompson, and Redland capitalized. But then there's Reddick really got pressure and threw that one away.
And those were the real costly ones, because what it ended up doing was Cedar Cliff just took momentum. Any momentum Redland had, it took it. So again, 27 points. That's more points than Redland scores, for a game. So that's it's going to be difficult for them to come back with the offensive scheme, because they are not a team that can live on being one-dimensional and just throwing the ball all over the place.
You're correct.
They need their running game to set up the passing game, where that doesn't open you up necessarily to get a lot of points unless you turn Cedar Cliff over. You have to do something to turn them over and not let them just run the clock out on you or just put more points on you.
I'll definitely agree with you there. 49 seconds to play here before half, 27-7. There's a bit of a hold up here. I'm not sure. They actually added some time on the clock, Jerome, so they want to add about 7 seconds were added. Johnson, right side. Hastings coming up to make the tackle.
There we see Big Hastings in the middle doing his thing. You see him, I tell you what, he's just very good at the point of attack, and he's hard to block. And in that case, if you don't put a hat on the guy, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to come and bring your quarterback down. So missed assignment on that offensive line, and he makes the quarterback pay.
Well, Cedar Cliff's going to take a timeout now. Redland's going to have some time to talk about it. 48 seconds to play. Coming up at halftime, we have our halftime report, our Hoffman Ford stats, and an interview with Sandra Colella from the Mettard's house. That's a really, really good thing that's begun to start here in the capital area. We'll have more information on that. So stay tuned for all that coming up at halftime. Jerome will also go inside on our stats and take a look at the differences that things have been made. But right now, it's just the one thing with the Cedar Cliff Colts is it just seems no matter what the case is, even in that McDevitt loss that we had live here on NBC 27 a couple weeks ago, they have the ability to put those points on the board, and they do it so effectively, so fast, with great drives. And it's like they never flinch. They're just back right at you.
Right. I mean, they can match many teams in the area with big plays, and I think that's important. They're very well coached, very well disciplined, and they have athletes. They have guys that can actually play. And what I liked, and we've talked about this before, was their dominance at the line of scrimmage. They have a very, very strong offense and defensive line. So in the trenches, they do the things they need to do to keep their offense and defense in very good situations. When you have a stout defensive line, your linebackers can really flow to the play and do their part. You have a stout offensive line, you can pretty much do everything. You can throw the ball, you can run the ball wide, you can run the ball inside. So getting in the trenches and being able to get guys in the weight room, teaching them how to fire off the ball, teaching them how to hold their blocks, that's what you see from this team, and that's good coaching right there.
Well, it's 4th and 13 for Redland. They're going to bring the punter on. Bronner will be set to punt. And back to receive is Yarnovic in Whalen. Far right side is Whalen. Beautiful punt. Yarnovic is going to fly over his head and take a Redland roll across the 20 and be down around the 18-yard line. So 30 seconds to play for Cedar Cliff. We'll see what they'll do. They'll probably run it out or take a knee here a couple times before half. You don't want to do anything crazy backed up down on your end like this with a 27-7 lead.
No, you definitely don't want to do that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Cedar Cliff takes a knee and just let this clock run out so they can go in the locker room. They're doing really well. They're having a good game right now. They're winning the turnover battle. And I think you just got guys, you know, just right now they're just in command of this offense.
Well, we got some, what, man, those are socks that you celebrate in right there. You got some. I like the pink for breast cancer awareness, and I'm not sure if those are leggings, but man, those are some patriotic leggings.
It goes with the theme. The Patriots.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But that's going to be it here in the first half as the clock begins to wind down. And we'll have our Highmark halftime report coming up. We'll also have our Huffman Ford stats. Archie Smith will be joining us up in the booth. And stay tuned for a great interview with Sandra Colella from the Medard's house with Charlie Fortney. All this coming up at halftime, so stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
No regrets. If only she parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them. Erie Insurance.
Karen has 459 friends, but none of them made sure she got home okay. None of them suggested she skip the next drink, try a glass of water, or maybe just call it a night. Karen has 459 friends, but tonight, what she really needed was one good one.
For all those pokers, prodders, shuckers, and sniffers. All Giant produce is triple checked. Farm, crate, and store. We're focusing on fresh, so you don't have to guess.
My Giant. Save big on all of your game day favorites. Only at Giant, a proud sponsor of High School Sports Live.
We are ready to help drive out breast cancer at Hoffman Ford. We have partnered with the Pennsylvania Breast Cancer Coalition. Through the month of October, we will be donating $25 with every vehicle we sell. Not only will you find great incentives,
low interest rates, and some amazing deals,
you will also be helping a great cause.
Help us, help them.
Find a cure.
Stop by and check out our huge inventory.
Well, let's go to Charlie Fortney, who is standing by with Sandra Colella from the Medard's house. And Charlie, take it away.
High School Sports Live would like to thank the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, the Brenner Family Dealerships, Connections Academy, Dauphin County Commissioners, Highmark, Hoffman Ford, Capital Region Insurance Agency, OSS Health, the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board, Ross Tractors, Giants, Pizza Hut, and Central Independent Living. They remind you to watch this game in its entirety on HSNLiveTV.com.
I'm here with Sandra Colello, the president of Medard's House. This is a special day for Medard's House, a nonprofit 501c3 organization based in the West Shore School District. Sandra, talk about the purpose of Medard's House, a little bit about the origin of how this program got started, and why you and a lot of people that really care about this organization have put a lot of hard work in.
Well, we had actually been meeting with the youth in the community for about 7 years, and we had been meeting in homes and the park, and we just saw a need for the youth to be able to have a place that they can go and meet on a regular basis, like a safe house, and the interest just grew and grew and grew over the years. So when one of our young men passed away unexpectedly, we decided to name the project after him. So that's how we kind of got our start.
Talk about that young man, and let's tell the public who he was and what happened, and also why his parents are behind this project as well, and why it's special to them that this continue, and why it means so much to so many people in the district.
Medard was one of those young men who he didn't really care what your stripe was, where you came from, where your parents came from. If you were one of the kids that lived at the Methodist home for youth, or you lived across, really taught a lot of the kids that hung out with him a lesson. Plus, he was also an extraordinary yeah, he just did it all, but he had a great outdoorsman. He loved the outdoors.
And Medard Kowalski is his name, and Medard's memory is going to live on through students from the Redland, Cedar Cliff, and the West Shore School District being able to participate in what the Medard House has to offer. Talk about the ribbon cutting today at the Senior Community Center in New Cumberland, and what that is going to be able to do for the kids in the community.
Well, we had partnered with the West Shore Senior Center. We will be meeting 3 days a week, 4 to 6 Monday, 4 to 6 Wednesday, 4 to 10 Friday. We are going to be open for the youth to come to hang out together. We're going to have a meal together at 4:30 every day. And we just want the kids to be able to have a safe place to go and to build relationships. And it was really instrumental today because we did a formal ribbon cutting ceremony, because this is our first time we have a place where we're going to be consistently in the same spot. And we had brought the Redland football team and the Cedar Cliff football team together today for their pre-game meal, and that was amazing. There was a lot of, but they were so so respectful throughout the meal. But our message to them was, this is for all of you guys. You go out in the field, have fun. The rivalry is awesome. You don't want to take away from that. But when you come off the field, come hang out with us in a really safe place, you know what I mean? And have some fun.
Well, and there was a special thing that happened before the game where students from Redland and Cedar Cliff did come together in prayer, and that was saw by fans at the stadium. And for a rivalry that takes on a lot of bitter twists over the years, just very good for the community overall. Sandra, we thank you for all the work you're doing. I'm proud to say you're my sister. I'll tell everybody online. But also just the people that you're involved in doing this. Good luck with the program. Back to you guys, Todd, Jerome, and Archie for the halftime report with Highmark. More coming after this.
Living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Hi,
I'm Melissa. I teach 10th grade English.
And I'm Melissa when she was in 10th grade at Connections Academy.
That was the year my teachers changed the way I looked at literature.
These books are amazing.
At Connections Academy, the great courses and all of the personal attention really made a difference.
Our class discussions opened my eyes.
In fact, my Connections Academy teachers inspired me so much, I became one myself.
Here, you're gonna need these.
Commonwealth Connections Academy, the tuition-free public cyber school.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Karen has 459 friends, but none of them made sure she got home okay. None of them suggested she skip the next drink, try a glass of water, or maybe just call it a night. Karen has 459 friends. But tonight, what she really needed was one good one.
No regrets. If only she parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
Erie Insurance.
Welcome back to our Highmark halftime report and our Huffman Ford. The exciting plays that we saw, guys, gentlemen, this game started off to be exactly what it was, a war. At one point, 13-7, and it looked like Redland had all the momentum. So when you look back at the first half, you think a couple things. 2 big turnovers, but more importantly, when you got an arm like Brenneman doing this right here, connecting with McDonald early on, that was their first drive. He rolled left, brought McDonald across. McDonald held on for an early touchdown. Cedar Cliff took the lead 7-0, and then Raddick come back, said not to be denied, but that's the interception in the first half. He did some very special things, but Brenneman comes back off of that same interception and connects one more time with McDonald. Take a look here, and he throws somewhat of a dangerous pass, but McDonald found it with the sure hands, and Cedar Cliff went up 27-7. But this is the touchdown by Raddick early on, and there he goes to John Green in the end zone. He rolled right, fired it in, and Green scored the touchdown. The score is 27-7, but this first half had some opportunities for Redland to make a difference right here. Fumbled, recovered, and then Redland turns right back around, and Alex Lentz comes up with the interception to get it back, and that really turned the tides for Redland. Redland had all the momentum early on, and Chris Thompson carrying it home, not to be denied, and that's how they took the lead 27-7. Cedar Cliff really in command here at West Shore Stadium. You take one more look at the angle as he bounces outside, not to be denied. Stiff arm, got him into the end zone. And Cedar Cliff doing all the things we've seen him do all year long. That's why they're 6-1. Bad snap, pick up. Briner's got to fire it downfield, and he'll throw an interception, and that set up the last touchdown to right here. If you'll see, right up the middle, Dubas carrying it with a big block. Hole opened up greatly, and Cedar Cliff takes the lead. But when we talk about what we just saw, when we go inside some of the numbers, Jerome, we said Redland had an opportunity. I mean, they got all the momentum back, got a costly turnover in there, down at their end, and turn around and threw the ball back away.
Well, when you talk about momentum, they had momentum for brief periods. They never had full momentum in this game. It kind of went back and forth initially to begin the game, but then turnovers really hurt them. Their inability to then turn those turnovers into points was a very difficult thing, and you can see by the stat totals right now, Cedar Cliff 255 total yards to 107 total yards for Redland. So that tells you right there. You look at the turnover battle. Redland is losing the turnover battle. They only have 7 first downs to 12. And, both of these teams are playing a pretty clean game as far as penalties. But look at the points off turnovers. 13 of the 27 points for Cedar Cliff came off turnovers. So when you have turnovers like that, it's hard for you to recover. And against a team like this that averages 42 points a game, you can't give them any extra help.
And Archie, you look down first downs 12-7. 92 passing yards on the Cedar Cliff side. and Redland only managed 27 passing yards. But you know what? They've got an effective quarterback. What can he do better? What can they do better to get some setups and opportunities?
As you can see, man, Redland has a strong, tall, 6'2" quarterback who can see over the line, and actually he can find his receivers. But what Redland is doing is he's missing his receivers. He's missing his target. He's throwing high. As you can see on that interception, he had a wide open receiver running directly down the seam of the field right there. And I think if he goes into halftime, as I seen coming off of the field, the lineman, his team, coaches was patting him on the back, letting him know, listen, let's calm down, let's come back out of here, and let's play with a sense of urgency right now, and let's hit our targets, be the leader that you are, lead the field, lead your team, hit your targets, and let's get something going.
Well, I think it's summed up very well. We'll see what happens, 27-7. And our Charlie Fortney had an opportunity early on to talk about this West Shore War and really talk more importantly with Bob Burton. And we'll go to the interview now with Charlie Fortney.
I'm here with Bob Burton from OSS Health. Bob is the sports medicine manager for OSS Health. Bob, you guys have a great presence in the West Shore community, especially with student athletes in schools. West Shore Stadium is a big place for you guys where you service student athletes and families. Talk about that care and you guys' role in the community as a health provider.
Sure. Well, we have a long history in the community. Our doctors have been established in this area, and we have a strong desire to grow and build the services that are available to student athletes and their families. The important thing with athletics is timely care, being able to get in, see the right people, and get that care. We heard from the community, but we also saw the need for an urgent care facility in this area, and that's how that established. And if people were to go to osshealth.com, they can find all of our facilities and addresses. So I won't go into that, but it really stemmed out of our long history with athletics and seeing that need.
I'll tell you what, as a father, I just recently, my son hurt his hand. We thought it was fractured, and we couldn't get in with our regular doctor. And we live on the East Shore, and my young guy was able to be seen the next day, and fortunately found out it wasn't fractured. He was back on the football field 2 years later. I brought my daughter over there. So I know it's a great service to parents. Talk about what you guys have going on in the community and how it works. I know you have guys like Dr. Bixler, lead doctor for many of the football games, and I know you have a bigger staff than that. Talk about those guys.
Well, sure. Dr. Bixler, he played football here, and he's got family and roots here. So, yeah, he's out and about and has built a lot of great relationships. And that comes from our desire to build those relationships. That's the foundation of what we do. So we also have hired general practitioner, sports medicine, fellowship-trained physicians, emergency care physician, so that we can provide a scope of care here in Mechanicsburg, here in the West Shore area, here in the surrounding area, to be able to do what's needed and be available. We have a wide spectrum of specialties in our Mechanicsburg office, and being able to have that and work as a team, that's a big part of what we do, is just work as a team.
Now, a player gets an injury or a possible injury on a Friday night. They got to wait till Monday to have an appointment. Talk about that process with the OSS Health Urgent Care.
Well, first of all, we encourage all athletes to work with their athletic trainers. We want continuity of care, so we work with other providers, and the athletic trainers know how to reach out to us. That said, they don't have to wait till Monday. We have the urgent care available. If they have questions, they can reach out and come in and see somebody, and then we can set up an appointment directly from there. The other part of that is if they were just simply to call into our office, let them know that they have a sports medicine injury to have seen, we'll get them in right away. If there are any questions, actually those phone calls are set up to direct to me, because we want that one. Well, that's okay. We want that one-on-one care. You know, it's frustrating when you call and you get a switchboard and you leave a message and you're never sure if anybody's heard it. We want somebody to be able to reach out, get a hold of somebody, have them pointed the right direction, so that we're not being taken back and forth as far as where we need to go.
All right, Bob Burton, OSS Health. Coming up after this, we're going to have game time after these messages.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy. even have given up on your dream of owning your own home, but don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Every day we do. Hard work is put into every pre-owned vehicle we put on the road. We make sure they are all safe and reliable for your peace of mind. Your real value comes from the Hoffman name and the people that stand behind it. So if you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, just call me, Ryan.
Well, welcome back to West Shore Stadium, the West Shore War, Cedar Cliff 27, Redlands 7. You see a great view of the wonderful Cedar Cliff Colts crowd, and I have Jake Adams here along with us in the booth from the Carlisle Sentinel. Jake, when we looked inside those numbers, I mean, Brenneman was 143 total yards, 6 for 8. I don't think that surprises. I don't think it would surprise you that Thompson has 7 carries for 88 yards and 1 TD. On the other side, 6 for 11 is Raddick, and 1 TD and 1 interception. Johnson, 11 carries, maybe expected a little bit more, 26 yards. Let's first talk about Cedar Cliff since they're visitors. It's what you've seen from your reporting side all year long. Anything that shocks you or stands out right away?
No, honestly not. Brenneman, I mean, I haven't seen him since last year, but this is the evolution I expected from him. He's a 3-year starter now.
Mm-hmm.
He runs this offense so beautifully, and the way he's able to manipulate the pocket is one of the best in this area, and it's showing. I mean, the receivers he's got are always open, or if they're not, he throws them open, and he makes the right play. He doesn't make mistakes, which is, I mean, for any coach, Gillen's got to be loving it every single night.
Well, when you look over on the Redlands side first, before I even say anything, I want to talk 1 second on your view on the Keystone Division. Now, tonight we've heard right now that Bishop McDevitt has a 7-3 lead over Susquehanna Township, so something's got to give there. There's going to be 2 losses on one of those sides right there. Redland comes in with 1 loss, Cedar Cliff with 1 loss, Susquehanna, Bishop McDevitt all with 1 loss coming up tonight. What do you think? I mean, what do you think from your Carlisle Sentinel view? What is going to happen here?
Obviously, whoever wins this game, I think, has the inside track, along with whoever wins the McDevitt game, because I don't think anyone else can really catch them. We've seen that there is a clear top half and a clear bottom half, and these 4 teams tonight are just battling out to figure out who's the top 2. I expected this game to kind of play out this way, that there was going to be the winner of this but had the division in hand in a lot of ways, because they don't have to face McDevitt. Redland played it perfectly, playing them in week 0 and getting them when they were at their weakest, quote unquote, and it's paid dividends. And now it's just for them to try and lock things up tonight and then try and get things situated for districts, because they're obviously both battling for that spot.
Exactly right. And, you know, as we start with the third quarter kickoff, 27-7, and I mean, Redland has to come out in this drive with something.
Absolutely. I was wondering how Cedar Cliff's defense was going to do against Justin Johnson this week, because they haven't really faced anyone that's been noticeably good, despite some of the games that they've played of late. And Johnson presents the toughest challenge by far. And here they are, a team playing weak competition, and they've shown up great against him tonight so far.
Well, when you look at it, I mean, I felt like that defensive line was always strong on the Cedar Cliff side. I thought when you had to look at what the Achilles tendon or what the Achilles heel is on the Cedar Cliff side, was that secondary. Actually, Redland really hasn't had an opportunity much to take any advantage of that secondary, because here's one thing when you talk Cedar Cliff, Jake, it doesn't matter how many points the opposing team puts on the scoreboard. They will match it. We saw even in that loss, in that Bishop McDevitt loss, which we had on TV, that was whoever got the ball last, really. That's how that game unwinded. They can score. Redland coming out here, you know, jet sweep look. Raddick looking right. It's going to come all the way back to his right side left, and it's going to be intercepted, and it's going to be taken back. And it's going to be a touchdown. Chandler Heupel will come up with the touchdown, Cedar Cliff. And you know what, Jake? Thanks for joining us up in the stands. And I don't know that we did any favors for Redland by talking about what they needed to do, because What a big play here to start the second half.
And we were just about to say, talk about this defensive backfield and look at what it is. It's another guy. I mean, it's Alex Lance, it's Bobby Whalen. They have a whole bunch of playmakers that are big wide receiver contributors on the other side of the ball. And here they are coming up with a big play. And we were saying, is this a weakness? Well, not that play.
Not at all. So the point after, Brenneman will have the hold. Savasio will be set to kick the point after. They put 33 on the board already. Snap, hold, down, up. It's good. 34-7 here at West Shore Stadium. More football action on ABC 27. Cedar Cliff in the driver's seat right now. More to come back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm proud to help save lives.
And I'm Brandon when he was in 8th grade.
With Dad's job, we moved around a lot.
So I went to school online at Connections Academy.
Virtual education was more flexible, and it really motivated me to learn.
I got way organized.
That paid off junior year when I started going to high school here in town, and it's paying off now.
Whoa, you look cool in that uniform.
I know, right? We look cool.
Commonwealth Connections Academy, the tuition-free public cyber school.
Players and parents have more confidence in Advanced Hoops and Team PA AAU basketball. It's the only program that invests in a full-time staff to ensure that players get quality coaching, skill development, practice time, and quality tournaments. Over 170 players placed in college. Wow!
He's improved in shooting, dribbling, and understanding the concepts of the game.
To check out Advanced Hoops and Team PA, go to Advanced Hoops.
Cedar Cliff put another one on the board with an interception return to the house for 36 yards. First play, now Johnson's going to drop it. He'll take it left side, trying to fight for every bit he can get. Climbing back over the 20-yard line to 25-yard line. Redland will have the ball down 34-7. And, you know, right now, if these things don't look good, you come into that second half, Jerome, and you throw a ball.
Well, let's talk about
it. And it hits it right in the numbers, hits the defender in the numbers.
Let's talk about Reddick, though. I mean, we've talked about this quarterback, and I know you guys have talked about how tall he is and how he looks. This is not a program that throws the ball significantly, though. He only has 640-something yards, plus
646
yards.
Coming
so
in, yeah.
646 when Brenneman is already at 1,400. So that lets you know that they are more run-heavy than they are pass-heavy. So now you're in a game where they now are playing from behind and they have to then throw the ball. So you're putting this quarterback who typically is not used to throwing like this in throwing situations, and you're seeing he's throwing erratically, he's throwing high at times, and he looks good at other times too. So he's not as consistent.
So he's forced out of his comfort zone is the best way to say it.
They seem like a team that their passing game is set up by their running game, because you look at their running game, it's a different story. You have Justin Johnson has more yards rushing than Riddick has passing.
Right.
So that lets you know that they run the ball to set up the pass, and they pass when they want to instead of when they have to. And now they're in a have-to situation. So he's not as comfortable.
Raddick with pressure, setting up the screen perfectly on the left side. Reiner's going to take it across the 35-yard line, make it to 37, 38-yard line, and Redline will have the ball.
Yeah, you see on the other end, Cedar Cliff is more balanced. I mean, they have, but Brenneman leads the charge. He throws the ball to his 1,400 yards passing. Then they have a running back in Johnson that's up around close to 900 yards rushing. So they have a balanced thing, but their passing game is their big thing. So that's the difference between these two programs, even though this quarterback looks the part.
Well, Brenneman has thrown for more yards passing 1,400 than the total offense on the Redland side, but
and mind you, we're talking about a good Redland team.
Oh,
we're
very
not
good.
saying that they're a bad team.
No doubt about it. Hats go off to them.
They have a different offense.
Yeah, they've had a great season and coming in at 5-2. I mean, a real big win in what they called Week 0 against Bishop McDevitt that many people still in the mid-state are talking about. Got McDevitt at the right time, and then, beat a good Susquehanna team 17-16, which was somewhat, for some people, they call that a little bit of a surprise, but you know what? This team should not be a surprise to anybody. They do fight hard, and even in this game down 37-7, they haven't given up any fight.
Problems, some chinks in their armor, each one of them. I think probably the strongest team, even with the loss to McDevitt, I would still say is Reading. Or Cedar Cliff. I think they're still the team to beat in this conference.
Jalen Gaither was the intended receiver. It was incomplete. Raddick's throw was a bit low. And that's going to bring up fourth down, and Redlands going to have to turn around and punt the ball back after that big turnover. Cedar Cliff's getting the ball back.
Again, and they're right on schedule. I mean, they're at 34 points right now, closing in on that 42-point average that they have per game. I mean, they're right in stride, and they may be able to surpass that significantly.
It's amazing to say that when you see that team, that Colt team in that white uniform when they go on, that's 40-plus when they step on the field. But Redland's going to get it back. Redland's going to get the ball back.
Yeah, it hit off of number 10, Ebersol, and Ebersol didn't even know it hit him. I mean, I don't think anybody from Cedar Cliff knew that it hit Ebersol in the back.
Well, heads-up play for Redland in a big momentum change, Turner. It hits right on. Yeah, Ebersol did not know he beat the line drive punt down the field somehow.
And Yarnovic, it seemed like he had an opportunity to jump on it, but he didn't think it hit anybody, so he's thinking we should go ahead and get it.
Well, Reddick and his team will have the ball at the 20-yard line. Down low under center. Snaps right, going to pitch it back. And it's a touchdown, Redland. Beautiful play. Beautiful play. Loved it. I have not seen the old flea flicker in a long time, bro.
I mean, that was a great play. I mean, a good play design.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Archie Smith Jr. When's the last time you saw that? You probably were in Alabama. Archie?
Hey, guys, this was a great play call. I mean, right now you're trying to spark something. Spark something. Anything that you can, man. Reach deep down in the trick bag. Halloween is coming up next week, man. Get the treats out.
That's right.
Let's go, man. This is a West Shore battle. This is a rivalry game, man. Pull every trick that you can out, man. That was good.
Oh, and the point after is going to be no good. 9:33 to play. The old flea flicker keeps Redland just still fighting. They answered the turnover they had before. We got more action on ABC 27 after these messages.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
What were you thinking, Chuck?
You're not 18 anymore.
Is my leg supposed to bend like that?
6 months on the heating pad. I hope it was worth it.
I wonder if cartilage grows back.
Yep, that's gonna break right in half.
This looks so easy on TV.
Well, I think Archie Smith called it really well. He said, well, let's go to the trick-or-treat bag and go to the old flea flicker back. And Raddick throws a nice ball this time, and he connected with Hunter Briner on a touchdown. So it's 34-13, and Redland will, Cedar Cliff will get the ball. But take a look at it. It was a turnover right here. It's going to hit the back of Ebersol's head. It's going to be recovered. And then the old flea flicker. Look here. Beautiful.
That was the best ball of the day.
That was a great ball thrown. Cedar Cliff will have the ball, but we're going to go down to Archie Smith Jr. here in a second for the Giant Food section. He's in the Red Sea. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr.
All right, I'm down here in the Red Sea. And on 3, this crowd is going to get loud. They're trying to keep their Redland football team back excited. Let them know that you guys are behind them.
I think Archie's having a great time down there. Man, oh, man. It's dangerous in the Red Sea, but you know what, Archie? You're doing a good job. Hey, Archie, I noticed you got the Alabama State jacket on here today, man. I like that. Showing some alma mater pride right there. Look at him. He belongs in the Red Sea.
He definitely belongs in the Red Sea. And I'll tell you what, when you talk about student sections, that is a cool crew over there, man. They get it in over there.
That's our Giant Food student section. Archie Smith acting crazy with those students, having fun, and more importantly, he kind of fits right in with them. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Cedar Cliff.
And hey, he may want to go over to Cedar Cliff's student section as well, because they may think, yo, why can't we get some love over here?
I think you're right. I think we're going to have to get Archie over there.
34 to 13. Why aren't we getting love?
Well, I hope he's getting extra pay running on both sides of the field like that. That's not an easy thing to do. He gets from one side to the next side, and, he's trying to get to the other side of the field. So Brenneman, first down and 10 now. He'll move the chains on that last play. That give was to Thompson up the middle. Thompson picking it up with his feet, so it'll be ball will be spotted on the 42-yard line, first and 10. Brenneman to Wellen across the 50-yard line. Oh, he's going to make a spin move, cut across the field, still on his feet.
Wow, beautiful play.
Boy, oh boy, is he elusive?
Well, again, we know, what the Cedar Cliff team and this offense can do. And now they want to settle down, get into their offensive rhythm again, and put more points on the board.
And the way he moves around, that was a 20-yard pickup. The way he moved around, it might be coming right up on Dancing with the Stars, Bobby Way. I tell you what, he does move. He's got some shimmy shake moves, But now we're going to go on the other side. I think at some point the Cedar Cliff Colts want another chance too, so we'll do that here in a few moments on the Giant Food section on the Cedar Cliff side. That give is to Thompson left side. Beat through the middle of that defensive line for the Redland Patriots, and Nathan Stahl will come up to make that tackle.
And again, you see the calmness of this offense. They know what's going on. They know what they can do. They gave up a touchdown. They're up 34-13. They're in control of the game. They definitely want to get that touchdown back on their end on the offensive side. And Thompson is over 100 yards, 10 carries, 101 yards right now. So he's been that bow cow on the offense, and we know when they can do that, they can do this. Play action. When you're able to run the ball like that, you can hit play action plays like this and get it to your fullback up for a big game.
Yeah, Derek Reitz, the big fullback, 200 pounds, 5'10". He'll catch that. He'll cross over the 20-yard line. Cedar Cliff will be knocking on the door again. So Redland scores on a flea flicker, but Colts say, no problem. We're going to come right back at you, cross the 20-yard line with Reitz, the big fullback. Over the 20-yard line, ball will be spotted at the 18. It got kind of chilly here tonight. You see the fans in their Redland sweatshirts, and we got some ear muffins on. You know what? We were down on the field. It did change. It changed, but it changed drastically. It was somewhat warm here, in the afternoon when the sun was out, and then when that sun went down, it got a little bit chillier. But we have not had some of that cold we had like we've had in years past. But we'll have a timeout here with Cedar Cliff coming up. More information and more football on ABC 27 after these messages.
Groff Tractor is your full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction and many other leading brands, serving the total sales, rental, parts, and service needs of its customers. Groff Tractor paves the way for your projects from start to finish. With 11 locations, Groff Tractor is always close by your equipment needs. Groff also offers 24/7 field service. Groff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Well, welcome back here. Cedar Cliff Colts driving in the red zone, 34-13 with 6:58 to play here in the third quarter. Brenneman in shotgun formation, singles to the left and right. First down, 15 for Cedar Cliff, 9 for Redland. Going throwing over the top, and that's a touchdown. Cedar Cliff, Bobby Wellen's going to well that one in. Man, they just do it so effectively. It becomes and starts to look easy, Jerome.
It does. And can we please recognize that Bobby Wellen is a sophomore? I mean, this kid we've seen him twice this year, got a chance to call his games. And I'll tell you what, man, he's a really good athlete. He has good size on him, too, and he does a lot of things for this team at 6 foot, 170 pounds.
So Brenneman with the hold. Kick is up and good. Let's go to Archie Smith Jr. over on the Cedar Cliff side in our Giant Food section. Oh, here they are, Archie.
I got them all. Ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, Archie, they're excited too, like the Red Sea. You cannot beat anywhere in high school football. Well, look at Archie down here with this guy. Come on, Arch. That's our Cedar Cliff Giant Food section. Nowhere do I find. Hey, oh, look at Arch. Jerome, I mean, You can say what you want about crowds throughout the Mid-State.
Yeah.
But nothing is like the Cedar Cliff Redland matchup.
I tell you what, man, that's great. That is great. That is so great. And I'll tell you what, man, Archie's right in the middle of it, man. The kids are going nuts. Their team right now is having a good game.
And now they're chanting all of it.
That was just, just good football, man. That's what it's about. It's about having fun and getting kids out there. And I know I'm very just happy, as well as you are. It's for us to have an opportunity to bring this game and bring these games, each year into the living rooms of families that aren't able to make it to the game to see some good high school football in this area. We see other states doing some really good things, and it's good that we at PA, Central PA, are able to do this.
I always often said, to you, if we weren't calling these games, we certainly would be watching.
Oh, absolutely. I would be in a game every week anyway. So this is a good opportunity for us to be able to bring this to your living room. And these guys, they get out, they play hard, man. They work all year. And for them to get an opportunity, maybe they can TiVo it, they can save it and be able to watch themselves on TV, and we can bring it to them.
Is TiVo still the name for it?
There's so many different ones. I may be
Looky here already. A big old hookup for Redland. And you can't even count them down. Matt Moody pulls in and delivers. Raddick, look at here. Pulls to the right, feel a little bit of pressure. Looking downfield, hits Matt Moody, gets into the secondary, past Bobby Wellen, crossing the 30-yard line on a big pickup. Now they'll have the ball down around the 21-yard line.
And that's a 58-yard pass completion that we saw. Big play. They haven't had a lot of them, but when they have them, they're able to strike. So a big play opportunity for this Redland team.
Raddick with trips receivers to the left, no backs, twins to the right. Justin Johnson makes a great catch, crossing the 15-yard line, knocking out of bounds. It looks like Tristan McDonald goes down for Cedar Cliff, which you don't want to hope he's not down. Looks like he might have a cramp in his hamstring. Take one more look at this play. They went no backs, go to Johnson.
That was a big hit, too. I wondered if it may be it looks like it's a cramp situation. Like you said, they're stretching him out on the sideline, trying to get him going.
He was going hard at it. Look, hit Johnson. Johnson is not a small guy to hit. He is a bruising type back.
Yeah, he's low to the ground, so he's on the short side, but he's put together. We got a chance to see both teams in pregame, and you got a good look at him. So, he's a very well put together back, and he can take a pounding. Those guys sometimes are the harder ones to get down because they're low center of gravity, and you just bounce right off of.
The knockout punch, Cedar Cliff trying to put that knockout punch up. You get over that certain score, and then that clock keeps running. But, hey, Advanced Hoops Fall AAU Tryout Saturday, October 29, 2016. Register today at advancedhoops.com or call 717-657-2620. Advanced Hoops. Hey, and you can see our very own Charlie Fortney over there. And, Archie Smith Jr. does a lot of coaching and work at Advanced Hoops. If I was a youngster coming up in the basketball programs today, I would want Archie Smith to be one of my instructors. There's so many great people over there at AAU, at the Advanced Hoops AAU. So I know we didn't get those types of opportunities when we were kids, Jerome. If we did, it would be great. Our next broadcast, another big game, Central Dauphin East at Cumberland Valley. Check our full schedule out at hsslivetv.com. And I'm looking forward to that Central Dauphin, I'll spit it out, Cumberland Valley game.
Yeah, Central Dauphin, East Cumberland Valley, that'll be a good game. We've got an opportunity to see both of those teams. You have on one side the Cedar Cliff team that now adds Mike Jones from Bishop McDevitt. He has gone there, transferred to East, so he'll be there. And then we've seen what Cumberland Valley can do and that high-powered offense and tough defense that they've run. So it definitely will be a good game. Good opportunity to see two tough teams battle it out in that Commonwealth Conference.
Reddick looking inside. Will that ball be intercepted or not? No, it's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Jalen Gaither. Look here again. Reddick was going to roll right, and it'll be a 4th down and 2. That's going to be incomplete. Boy, that was dangerous.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to force this. Hastings made him bow out from his defensive line position, and he tried to force that ball in. He was lucky that wasn't picked off, and it brings up 4th down.
And, just to go back to what you said before, Mike Jones transferring from McDevitt to I mean, what is the PIAA role on that? I mean, can you leave a private school back to public school?
Basically, going private to public, if you're in the district, my understanding is you can play right away. And now it's possible that the PIAA still, they still have to sign off on a lot of those, but it looks like that's exactly what did happen. And so I think he's able to play right away. We had another player that went from Bishop McDevitt to Still High. And we covered one of those games, and that happened. So it does happen. It doesn't happen frequently. It's just one of those things that sometimes if, McDevitt, they're at a private school, so many kids are from different areas. And then they can go back to their home district.
Well, hold that thought 1 second there. There was a face mask you see right there.
Wow, that's a tough one, too.
That is. And you see how Eric Musselman came in and got Johnson's face mask, and that'll be a personal foul in giving Redland a better opportunity. But, when we were kids, it was just unheard of to see someone leave a team in the middle of the year to go to a team. And now it's happening inside conferences. And I'm not one to say much about anything in high school sports, but it's one thing as a former coach that, I just don't understand.
Yeah, and again, I'm not going to tell you that I know what
flat out
really
it was
happened.
Unheard of when we were
I agree.
Kids.
It was
unheard of.
I went to a private school. I didn't, there was no thought for me to go to anywhere else. But I guess it happens. And again, it's in mid-season going from one uniform 1 week to another uniform the next week in a whole different group of teammates.
But within a conference, which can throw off a whole different side of the conference, I don't understand. But Redland with an opportunity here, ball on the 2-yard line, or second down 6, excuse me. Raddick going to get pressure, and boy, oh boy, he's not going to have any time to deliver that. Wardell Dorsey, his 275 pounds, was there to have lunch, is the best way to describe it.
He definitely had lunch coming up the middle of that from that defensive position to make that sack. And I'll tell you what, Cedar Cliff is not going to make this easy for Redland to get in the end zone. And you see the big guy comes up and make a big play. We look at 275. Remember, he's 5'9" and 275. So he's bringing a lot with him when he's coming up in the quarterback's face.
They're down 15 now. Big loss for Redland. Reddick back to pass. Throwing over the middle. It's going to Ian McCleat. Boy, oh boy, did he have Espinosa. Josiah Espinosa. He had him wide open. And it'll be 4th down and 15. You'll see Redland go for this one here in the red zone. So 4:49 here in the third quarter. Redland wanting to put another one on. Johnson is the single back, single receiver in your screen closest. Trips to the left. Raddick over the top. Beautiful catch and pitch. Pitch, catch, whatever you want to call it. Touchdown, Redland over 2 defenders. He throws on McDonald's side, and it's hauled in and caught. Look at it again. Hunter Briner coming down with the catch. Beautiful throw, catch right there. Man, oh, man. There's no quitting the Patriots tonight. Touchdown, Redland. The whole kick is blocked.
Wow. Again, this Redland team is not going away without a fight.
There will be more. 41-19. More after these messages.
The front is mostly masonry.
And then the masonry will meet the window frame. I think this project's really coming together.
Living Well with a Disability is a free source for anyone with any type of disability. We provide countless resources and endless opportunities to live your best.
I really am living well.
Call 1-877-2-LIVE-WELL to discover resources available for you.
Players and parents have more confidence in advanced hoops and Team PA AAU basketball. It's the only program that invests in a full-time staff to ensure that players get quality coaching, skill development, practice time, and quality tournaments. Over 170 players placed in college. Wow!
Since my son has started advanced hoops, he's improved in shooting, dribbling, and understanding the concepts of the game.
To check out Advanced Hoops and Team PA, go to Advanced Hoops.
living proof of the difference you can make when you're all for health. Highmark Blue Shield.
Well, you'll see it backed up here. Look at just before he ran out of room. Braddock over the top. Oh, what a beautiful pass. Hooks up with Hunter Briner.
And again, it's interesting, Todd. We're in the third quarter, and both of these teams are closing in on their average scoring per year, or for the year. So you figure Cedar Cliff, they average about 42 points. They're at 41. Redland averages about 24. They're at 19. So the problem is for Redland, they can't win a game against this team with just 19, 20, 24 points when you have a team that averages 42. So that's going to be a problem.
Congratulations to Archibald winning the U.S. Army prize.
Right side carry by Mike Dubas. Dubas picking up some serious yardage with his feet. He'll be over 35. That last drive was 8 plays, 80 yards. Very effective drive by Redland. And they've got so much ability. And, I mean, that's why they were 5-2 coming in. I mean, we know this is their rival, and they're playing just a very, very good. I mean, a playoff caliber, ready for playoffs is what I would say with Cedar Cliff. They are really good. I cannot wait for some of the matchups when it comes to district play.
Yeah, I mean, it should be some good matchups across the area with playoffs. Again, we still got weeks to decide this, so there's still time.
All right side, carry. You're starting to see some different people touching the rock now for Cedar Cliff. I mean, they have that ability to do it. They're deep. There's a great carry by Mike Dubas. I mean, a few weeks ago, or well, last weekend was it? I watched, just to let you know, watched Alabama and Tennessee. And I thought Tennessee might come to play a little bit more, and they had some serious injuries. But I watched Alabama as they went into the depth chart, and they continued bringing people at every single spot. They would start at most Division I schools. And I believe Cedar Cliff has this depth too, and you don't often see it, but they have a lot of guys interchangeable right here coming down the field. Right, that's Derek Wright's the fullback, and he's showing you with the stiff arm what he can do. Yeah. And he's another guy that tonight we've seen him pick up 2 to 3 good plays, one big block, and everybody on this team knows their role, and I think that's what makes championship caliber teams.
Yeah, definitely. 47-yard pass play. I think, you talk about the depth. You look at the Cedar Cliff sideline, they don't have tons of players over there. But I think the contribute, they have a lot of guys that go both ways. But we've seen this. They've built a program here. Year after year after year, they've started to build a very, very good program. And that's something that you go down to your middle school football program, into your ninth grade program, JV program, up through your varsity. And we remember, years back when we watched them, these guys were JV guys and just starting out varsity, and now they're seniors, many of them. And you saw them grow under guys that were here that were playing very good football. So they've learned from those guys, and now you look at Brennan, and you think about the quarterbacks that he followed that came through this program, and now look at him, and he's now in the position to be a starter. He is, and he has a Division I scholarship opportunity at Colgate to go up to Colgate and play football and be a quarterback there. So you see that in programs, and each team, you want to have that. You want to have that depth. You want to have guys that come in the game and show you what they can do. And the Cedar Cliff team is definitely a pretty strong program.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you what, come on, making a beautiful play. And he's done a few of those tonight, is Troy Kranich. Kranich's a nice linebacker. We've got a special presentation here. The military is recognizing a Patriot in their effort and all that they do on the field and in the classroom. That's Artie Archibald. He's a junior. He's 5'11". And he is receiving a special award from the military. And anytime you see something like that, you got to go hats off to that youngster, because they deserve it. A lot of things happening here at West Shore Stadium tonight that we can be proud of. 3rd down and 6, 1:52 to play in the third quarter. Brandon on the quarterback draw, put his head down, and he's going to get in. I believe he's in. That might be a touchdown. Colts, we have no signal.
Right.
No, he's going to be short. And Yeah, he's coming up short. So take a look at it here again. Brenneman's going to carry it. Oh, man. There's a lot of hard hitting tonight, Jerome. I can tell you that right now. Jordan Weldon came over and delivered a heavy hit on Brenneman. Now, it didn't even phase Brenneman. He got right back up like he always does. He's a consummate performer and professional. I mean, he goes to the job as a quarterback, and he's a journeyman. I mean, he's just, what can you say about the kid? That we already said, 4th and 1. Brenneman's going to sneak under, touchdown, Cedar Cliff. Wow.
And there you go. Cedar Cliff just comes right back and answers Redland. And again, you can't go into this game and go tit for tat, touchdown for touchdown against Cedar Cliff. They're just going to keep scoring. So, you know, it puts you, of course, being able to keep scoring if you're Redline, that's a good idea. But if you can't stop Cedar Cliff, you're not going to be able to do anything. You can't get back into this game.
He will go down in the mid-state as one of the best, if not one of the best.
I tell you what, I'm very impressed with him. And if he had a little bit more height on him, he probably would be at a bigger school. I mean, going to Colgate, it's going to be good football. We've seen Brenneman for 2 years now, and he's shown what he can do. So, very good quarterback, leads this team very well.
48-19, more to come after these messages.
No regrets.
If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
Erie Insurance.
At Pizza Hut, our original pan dough rises fresh every day, making it crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. And now you can get our original pan as part of the $6.99 any deal. That's 2 medium pizzas with any toppings, any crust, any specialty for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
They were good. I'm sorry, I'm going to grab something. Welcome back. Cedar Cliff, Redland, 48-19. When you look at that stat page, Travis Sparks' stat page, our statistician, and he has more notebook filled up tonight on this game than I've ever seen. Look at this, crossing the 45-yard line, making a big pickup.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're the coaching staff for Cedar Cliff, you're not happy with the defensive effort, though. I mean, you've done very good things, and it's like you're having this letdown at times where you're allowing big plays to happen. So I would imagine, they definitely want to tighten that up. And I would get my defense together and say, look, guys, yes, we're in control of this game. Yes, we should be able to finish this out, but we have to finish it out defensively, and we need to make sure we don't give Redland another opportunity to score. So that's what you want to instill in your guys, because you play against some other teams, you may not, you may let them back in the game. You don't want to do that.
Well, incomplete. Raddick, look at the total yards here. 400 total yards. Now, 621 combined. 400 on the Cedar Cliff side. I mean, you're putting up 400 yards in a high school game. I mean,
that's what Cedar Cliff does, man. I mean, they can score.
And how often do you see a team put up 221 total yards and not be at least in a ball game?
I mean, you figure you break that down. I mean, that's
running to passing, but we've seen that win games though. We've seen that win games in high school.
You've seen it, but again, that is not tons when you see some of the mid-state offenses that are going on in the yards they're putting up. I mean, you got teams that are putting up tons. I mean, you got Milton Hershey, in Hershey, PA, they're putting up points and yards, at a premium that rivals many of the teams in this area. So it's big.
The 50-50 total will be.
And if you think of Redland, and this is an important battle defensively and offensively. Offensively, Cedar Cliff or Redland has not had any third down conversions. So that's a lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if you can't convert on third down, you give the ball right back to Cedar Cliff. And they're actually 0 for 9 on third down.
The winning ticket number is
34 seconds here to play. Reddick's pass was incomplete from Matt Moody. You saw Matt Moody walking back to the line of scrimmage kind of slowly. Frustrated. He had an opportunity there in the secondary, and the ball was overthrown. So it'll be 4th down and 10.
And again, they have to go for it in this position. You know, you figure you give the ball back if you don't get it, but at the same time, you're down so many points, you have to see what you can do.
Wide open in this set. Raddick feeling the pressure. Going to have to bounce out left with backside pressure by Musselman. That ball will be knocked down by Brenneman. Brenneman's in the secondary now.
And Brenneman could have picked that off.
He could have.
He could have picked it off and decided not to.
But you know why? Because they get the ball spotted up to where it was. That's how smart he is. That's a quarterback.
That's a quarterback for you. Now, why pick it off and don't get tackled here when I can,
get hit in the back.
Yeah, pad the stats or put your team in a good situation so you can salt this game away even further. So you see him back as his defensive secondary position, being smart back there. You see the pressure come that I think knocked that ball loose. And again, Brenneman comes up and he does what he needs to do so we can keep the ball and keep that field position. Good play.
So many kids will take that ball and try to intercept that.
Yeah,
do something,
it's
some kind of miracle.
Pattern.
Not this kid. That's why he's going Ivy League. I mean, he's just that smart. Give to Thompson. Thompson running hard on the right side, putting his head down, crossing over to the 30-yard line. Man, just got so many weapons. They just hit you from all angles. Gaither coming up to make the tackle for Redland.
And again, they can go to their running game and just run it right at you with 4 different guys.
Well, that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Cedar Cliff 48, Redland 19. We'll have more on ABC 27 after these messages. And that's going to take us into the fourth quarter action with Cedar Cliff knocking on the door. More to come back after these messages.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Players and parents have more confidence in advanced hoops and Team PA AAU basketball. It's the only program that invests in a full-time staff to ensure that players get quality coaching, skill development, practice time, and quality tournaments. Over 170 players placed in college. Wow!
Since my son has started advanced hoops, he's improved in shooting, dribbling, and understanding the concepts of the game.
To check out Advanced Hoops and Team PA, go to advancedhoops.com.
Welcome back. Shot at Cedar Cliff. They feel pretty good right now at 48-19. That crowd has a lot to talk about. Look at total rushing yards. They have held Redland and Justin Johnson, who's over 860 yards, 829 yards coming in this game. They've held them to 22 yards, where Cedar Cliff has carried for 218 yards. Thompson, left side, crossing over the 20-yard, 15-yard line and be drug out of bounds. And that's part of the reason why they have 221 yards rushing.
Absolutely. I mean, they're able to do so many things, and it just taxes the defense. And that's why they're able to get up big, because there's so many ways they can score, and they put it on you every time.
First and goal, first and 10 at the 13.
So it'll be first and 10 to the 13 for Cedar Cliff. Whalen catches, stays on his feet, going to cross the 10-yard line, be shy of 5, make it the 6-yard line. And Cedar Cliff knocking on the door again.
Game of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
So it'll be 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2, call it, for Cedar Cliff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Brenneman gets an opportunity to play at Colgate. I mean, Colgate's not Ivy League, but they're that league that's right close to Ivy, so they play a lot of those teams. And I'll tell you what, that's good football there with Brown and Harvard and Princeton, and they play, very good football. So it'll be good to see how Brenneman goes to Colgate and when he has an opportunity to see if he can step on the field for that team next year. I mean, he still has this year to finish out, but choosing Colgate, I think he'll do well.
First and goal for Redland. Be 10:45 here to play fourth quarter. Give up the middle. and walks in the end zone for a touchdown. That's another one on the board. That's Chris Thompson for Cedar Cliff. 54 points put on the board.
And that's, I mean, that just shows you the type of player or players that this team has. I mean, they're tough, man. And this is not a bad team from Redland, and they're just running roughshod over this Redland team.
Point after's up and good. 55 points on the board. More to come on ABC 27 after these messages.
Like tough? Well, when the tough get tougher, they get a Ford F-150 4x4 F. Hoffman Ford. It's America's safest and toughest truck. And a tough truck requires an easy-to-handle price, as in up to $11,500 off MSRP. Or 0% APR for 72 months with approved credit. Or how about a 36-month lease for just $395 per month? Tough truck, easy-to-handle prices at Harrisburg's premier Ford dealer, Hoffman Ford.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Well, welcome back. 55-19. A lot of points put on the board tonight. And, man, oh, man, there's not much you can say other than this team is just very effective, and they've come in and played in our arch rival and putting 55 points on the board.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they've shown what they can do in every aspect. I think kick coverage, if there's one area that has been a problem for Cedar Cliff, has been how they cover kicks and punts. I mean, they got to make sure that they get down and make a play, and not give this Redland team any more fight. I mean, and you see the touchdown just right ahead. Number 2, Chris Thompson. Thompson's that's having a really, really good game today. He's been the bell cow for the Cedar Cliff team. So, you know, they're in mid-season form. They had that McDevitt loss, and then after that loss, they just rebounded from that right away to right their ship and get themselves right back where they needed to be in the standings. So that loss didn't do too much to derail them for what they needed to do this season. They come back right after the McDevitt loss, after putting up 35 points, and they put 50 on Hershey, 50-2. So that lets you know, that they can come right back and show what they needed to do, and then they go to next week, put up 34-7 on Chambersburg. So very good team, tough to beat, and they're gonna be there at the end of this. So very impressed.
Well, they have a delay of game. That's Redland's first penalty, believe it or not, of the game. Raddick's pass is complete to Skies. Skies will be knocked out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line. And that clock continues to run.
Ball from the Cedar Cliff 51.
Kept him in balance, did a great job. Raddick will be wrestled down.
You see that pass rush that Cedar Cliff is able to bring, especially up front. They don't blitz a lot. They let their front four do what they need to do. And that's the third sack of the game for the Cedar Cliff team. They will come at 4, and they try to they try to play a 2-gap. It looks like a 2-gap system where these guys come up and they engage the defensive linemen, and then they kind of see where they go from there. They try to make sure they cover their gaps and then get pressure upfield.
Well, 2nd and 1, it'll be incomplete. Nathan Stalls, the intended receiver, and just recently have an update on the Bishop McDevitt Susquehanna Township score. Bishop McDevitt still 7-3. They're in the 4th quarter there, so we'll keep you as we get some information there. We'll keep you posted on that score. 7:40 to play, 4th and 10 for Redland. They're going to have to go for it. You might start talking if you're Cedar Cliff, you get the ball back, you bring Brenneman out, you start looking at some changes in your offensive side of things.
And that helps your team grow as well when you get that valuable experience for your younger guys. So, you get those guys in the game, allow them to have some opportunities against varsity level talent. That helps them in their development.
Well, up ahead, when you think about some of the games and some of the matchups, up ahead yet still for Cedar Cliff will be Susquehanna Township. So we'll be interested to see what happens in that McDevitt-Susquehanna Township. Now, that could be a matchup, depending on what happens. Now, Cedar Cliff has already lost to McDevitt.
Right.
If Susquehanna Township would beat McDevitt, come in here and play Cedar Cliff, boy, what a great matchup that'll be.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be a good matchup. I think Susquehanna Township, they're going to have their hands full with this team.
No doubt
This will
about
be a hard game for them. And again, they have to play mistake-free football, because if they don't, they won't be able to compete. Now, the one positive they have is they're able to bring athletes on the field similar to McDevitt, and we saw the passing game for McDevitt was able to have a very, very, very good effect on that defense for Cedar Cliff, because it got to the point where they weren't able to get pressure on the quarterback, and they were able to pass the ball very well with those athletes on the outside.
Well, we've got a sophomore in the game, Chris Dare. Very rare do you hear the name Dare when it comes to the quarterback position, but right now Chris Dare has entered the game. 2nd down and 10, 6:09 to play.
Well, Chris Dare, he's a 6 foot, 160-pound sophomore, and he may be the one next year to take on the mantle as the next big thing. So let's remember his name, because next year he may be the guy. And we know that they are very good at bringing these guys up, these quarterbacks.
And also on the carries, Brennan Quigley. You see Brennan Quigley, you'll see a sophomore carrying the ball. Coming up, though, to make that tackle, Troy Cranick came up to make that tackle. Dare gives Quigley. Well, actually, the fullback carried that. That's right on the carry.
And you see a lot of guys getting in the game now. Cedar Cliff definitely wants to get their starters out, get them rested, get them ready for their next game, and get these younger guys that valuable experience so they can finish off the game and finish off this Redland team. Very good team. I mean, that's the one thing. I've been impressed, again, with this league, and I think, you see this Redland team come out, and they gave a good fight. But again, this Cedar Cliff team has been very difficult for many teams this year. I mean, they've really had a good year, and they're looking to try to do some big things.
That pass is intercepted. Running over the right side across the 30-yard line, still on his feet, and Dietz has to come down and bring down and gang tackle and wrestle down Troy Cranick. Cranick takes it long into Cedar Cliff territory. Look at this again. Look at him run hard.
He's there as a quarterback. I mean, he tried and he gets run over. But, again, he didn't see Cranick when he threw the ball. It looks like he didn't see that linebacker undercut that throw. And that was a 44-yard interception return.
Well, this score is final now. Bishop McDevitt has won that game versus Susquehanna Township 7-3.
Wow.
And now they're tied atop the Keystone Division. And right now it's Cedar Cliff, Bishop McDevitt. See it 7-3. Chris Briner picked a ball off late in the game and took the return deep into Susquehanna territory, and then McDevitt was able to take a knee on it, and they pulled away a 7-3 game.
So that McDevitt team put 42 points on Cedar Cliff, and they were only able to manage 7 points against Susquehanna Township. That's interesting. That's definitely big. I mean, that shows you it was a defensive battle today.
Yeah, right. Wow. I mean, that's the Keystone Division for you. 3:35 to play in this one here, 55-19. Shotgun formation. You got twin receivers left and right. Low snap. And the ball's going to be fumbled. It's going to be picked up by Johnson. Justin Johnson's going to go, well, let me get another chance at a crossing to the 20-yard line. He picks up some some much-needed yardage. As Jake Herzog is the quarterback that's entered the game for Redland, replacing Reddick. He's going to get an opportunity in here. He got a low snap, and as he's going back, he had to pump it. Hastings come in and hit him, and that's the guy you don't want to hit you. But Justin Johnson picks it up right here. Heads-up play.
Yep, definitely heads-up play. And again, they're playing against some of the backups for Cedar Cliff that are in the game. Redland, wants to see if they can still get in the end zone. They have their starters in the game still. Now, we do have a quarterback change.
Yeah, Jake Herzog is in the game there for
Exactly.
Band's been playing all night here for Cedar Cliff. They're not ready to end this yet because Thames now just got separated in the Keystone. The way it's going to look like right now, Cedar Cliff and Bishop McDevitt will be the only teams with one loss in the division, tied at the top of the Keystone division. Herzog's pass is complete, and that's going to be down at the 1-yard line. Good play. Hunter Briner tried to reach over the goal line for the touchdown. Take a look at it again here. Herzog goes back, fires. Actually, he fires the pass to Espinosa, and Espinosa tries to reach over. And he almost had it. And you feel bad for him. You like to see him pick that one up. Man, you think about the Susquehanna Township this year. Near ones. It's lost 17-16 to Redland, 7-3 to McDevitt. I mean, that's up, and that's a touchdown by Justin Johnson. So Redland has some more to say here. They have never stopped fighting this game. We give hats off to both teams tonight in this West Shore War. Patriot crew has not, Coach Weaver's crew has not stopped fighting. Chad Stout on the kick. Stout's kick is up, and point after is good. And you know what time it is, Jerome?
It's the hit.
It's time for the hit parade.
Parade. And again, Central PA football. Johnson he gets hit there by number 13. Hypo comes up, makes a good play. There's number 2, Thompson, showing what he can do on defense. And on the other end, we see the big hit. Matt Moody coming up. And then, I'm talking about trucking guys. Big number 42, Retz, gets his mark in there. And then we got the big guy, number 76, Dorsey, gets his sack. And then just a host of guys. And then,
oh my goodness,
you want to truck a quarterback, number 35, Kranick gets in, puts his head down, bowls over the quarterback. If you're a quarterback and you're going to come up and make a tackle, which I advise you to not do that. Hit parade.
I love the hit parade. Nobody does it better than you, Jerome. I got to give you that credit now. 81 total points put on the board between these two teams in this war. Let's go down to Archie Smith Jr. Archie, your thoughts on this game tonight?
Well, guys, I have been honored to be a part of both sidelines. I'm over here on the Cedar Cliff sideline, and you see there, I'm with you guys, man. In a game like this, a rivalry game, man, you want to continue to build for next year. You want to continue to build your program, and these giving these guys a great opportunity to get some game experience in a great rival game, man. And I just think the turnovers from Redland, as you guys say, the big discrepancy from third down. These guys haven't completed not one third down this game, man. They'll tell you right there the results you'll get on the scoreboard.
And you might want to tell the Cedar Cliff sideline now, they're going to go on, march on to the victory in this one. But McDevitt won 7-3 over Susquehanna Township, so that puts them tied at first place with McDevitt in the Keystone Division. So you probably can let some of them know, and that might get them excited.
Well, guys, I'm down here with Brenneman and Dubas, and these guys are, they're just enjoying how the game's supposed to be right now. So I'm finna tell these guys that and see their expression.
Yeah, we'll get back to us here in a few seconds. Redland set to kick. The wind, you can hear the wind, too, on the field, Jerome.
Yes.
That wind is blowing really hard right now. You see, well, I noticed when the pom-poms were lined down, that wind was blowing those pom-poms around, and you can hear it in that mic of Archie's. It's gotten cold here. It's picked up, and the wind's blowing. It feels like football tonight, that's for sure.
Definitely a far cry from what we experienced earlier in the week when the weather got up in the mid-80s for a taste, and now we're getting back to seasonal weather. So I mean, it's part of what it is, and for football, this is perfect.
I think I'm jealous of Greg May sitting back in the nice warm
he
studio
is
at ABC
nice in the
27.
studio doing his thing.
He's staying warm and doing what he always does, being the master of the mic, I like to say. And there's a beautiful high-flying flag in the dark sky. I think that's always, first of all, it's American.
Yes,
and it's
indeed.
beautiful to see Friday nights. I don't think I'd want to be too many other places.
Friday night football is American, you know what I mean? So that's big, and again, getting an opportunity to be here in Central PA and be able to bring football in this area that's so good. I mean, we have a good brand of football in Pennsylvania across. We talk about football in Philadelphia area. We talk about the football in Pittsburgh area. We definitely have to talk about football around here as well. We have some great programs. Kids are working hard all year round to get ready for this season, and it just brings the community together. So especially in this situation where you have two communities so close together, them being able to come out and have a good solid competition with each other, that's huge.
Well, let's talk about your player of the game, your thoughts on player of the game.
Yeah, I think for me it would be Grant Brenneman. I think he's again shown how special he is and his ability to just play ball. I really am going to be looking forward to staying in touch with seeing how he develops at the next level at Colgate in the Patriot League, playing against Lehigh and Lafayette and some of those teams, as well as they have crossover games with the Ivy League. So he'll have an opportunity to go to Colgate and compete, and that's what you want. You want him to compete, and he has the tools. He just needs to get into the system and show what he can do with those tools and compete.
Well, that's going to be it. 55-26. That's going to wrap this one up tonight. We're gonna. Mr. Brenneman will be our player of the game, Grant Brenneman. That's not a surprise, I know, for most people. Stay tuned for our OSS Health post game. We'll talk a few months and wrap this one up here tonight from the West Shore Stadium, 55-29. But Jerome, it's been one of those things tonight where you're just running into a team. If you're Redland, you're running into the team, Cedar Cliff, that just, more importantly, they're great. Let's take a look at our play of the game here tonight. And it's our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. You see Raddick rolling out. But look at this, coming up. Just when you need him, Chandler Heupel, and he takes it back to the end zone. And that started the third quarter. That started things off bad, if you think about it right there. If you're a Cedar Cliff, a Redland fan, that ball was thrown. It's a dangerous throw when you're backed up.
Never throw across your body like that. That's a nightmare scenario waiting to happen, because again, you have to have the cannon that you have to complete that ball and get it across that fast and hard. Most quarterbacks can't do it, and it gives the defensive player the opportunity to come and take that, and typically that is a pick six.
That was our Capital Region Insurance Agency of the game play, and now our Brenner player of the game. Grant Brenneman was 10 for 12 for 195 yards and 3 TDs. He also rushed 7 times for 57 yards and 1 TD. So our Brenner Family Dealership player of the game was Grant Brenneman, and this is the little things he does right there. Look at that. Just knows where to do it, where to put the ball in, particularly there he hooks up with McDonald.
And that's a solid game player. I mean, you talking about 10 for 12. I mean, and able to get 195 yards, 3 touchdowns in the air, 1 touchdown on the rush, counted for 4 scores, 7 rushes for 57 yards. That's a day's work.
That is a day's work. And that's going to do it here from West Shore Stadium. Stay tuned for our 3-star report right after the game here tonight. Cedar Cliff 55 points on the board tonight, and they are now tied atop the Keystone Division with Bishop McDevitt. On behalf of all our stats man Travis Sparks, Drome, and I, the Invicta Sports crew, 55-26 tonight. That's our game here from West Shore Stadium. We'll see you next week.
real serious out there. I know a lot of guys, you know, a lot of your boys are out there dying. It ain't no joke. The grave ain't no joke.
I hear the wind blow, thought it's your voice I heard. I feel the raindrops are falling, I see the tears you shed. My mind is constantly...
My name's Joel Delgado. I've been here for about 2 years already. This program has really helped me through a lot. Home, out of the streets, basketball. Taught me how to be a better player, a better person. Helped me be a better man at home. I help my parents around the house now. Less disrespect at home. Working, helping my mother pay bills. This program just built me to be a better person and a better man.
The rector, he came to me asking that I want to come and join this program, and I seen him at the Boys and Girls Club because I work there, and he told me about the program and what it's worth. It's a great combination. Like, I like learning about new stuff because really I love doing both things, learning, playing, but I just want to become a great player and just have a great future. And it's a long way to go now. I just gotta stick with there might be bad sides, bad places, and good places. I'm trying to take the good path.
Met Gerald Jarman a few years ago, and he got to talking to me about three-star program, asked me if I wanted to get involved, and was very excited about the opportunity to work with young men here in Harrisburg and hopefully make a difference. Make a positive difference in their lives.
I met Coach Jarman, and he asked me to be a part of the three-star program, so we looked at that, and of course you always try to clear your schedule for good things, and got involved, and it's just a great opportunity for anyone to impact lives. It's interesting, when I first heard about the program from the boys, they were talking about the mentoring, they were talking about just being together with friends, they were talking about so many great things that they liked about the program. And it actually took a while before they said, oh, and by the way, we play basketball.
I tell you, it's great. You see the young men come in as we begin the mentoring sessions. It's great to see just their development. It's great to be able to develop great relationships with these young men and just see them grow and prosper.
A lot of things in the streets just to help y'all out.
Can you tell them about it?
I got a lot of people that are here. I got into it, so I hope they learn something from here the same way I did last year.
You see any changes in them?
So far, yeah, a lot. Lots getting jobs, stopping a lot of things, becoming better people in here, better friends. It's helping a lot.
Yeah, I'll be here next year.
He got accepted to Duquesne and Bloomsburg on a full academic scholarship.
We're here tonight at Roland School, Harrisburg School District. This is the high school program. This is our 7th year. This is the one that's really established. This is the program. This is kind of like the mother of them all. 65 guys from the Harrisburg School District, teenagers, guys, you know, want to come out and play basketball and learn about life. Good thing is, you know, I don't know too many places in the city where you can go and get this many guys in one location, one place, from different areas in the city, uptown, from the Hill, from out the south, all in one melting pot. Probably in another setting, in another environment, these guys will be at each other. You know, it could be some friction, you know, so that's one of the things we're thankful for. You know, God has given us the grace to be able to do what we do. We're excited to be here. We have a great program. You're going to hear more things in the future, great positive things about the young men in the city. I believe that with all my heart, with all my soul. I believe that you're going to hear some positive things. There's a lot of negative things out on the media, and rightfully so. There's a lot of negative things happening in the city. But this is proof tonight, what you've heard and what you've seen, that there is some good that's happening. We want to highlight that. You know, it's a breath of fresh air to see and hear some of the testimonies, some of the positive reports we're getting, and you've seen it for yourself. So the best is yet to come, and I look forward to talking to you again sometime soon.